day, 28 day. You're dealing with wealth. Was the YouTube? Wait a second. The YouTube was not. YouTube is so trash. I got to be honest with you. If I click away from the screen, then the shit don't actually go live. Really, bro? Really, nigga? Really, nigga? Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Anyway, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the Grift Report, live Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. I'm your host, the Grift God.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Hotep to the chat. Hotep to the Hotep of Standings Protocol. What up? Hotep, ya tú sabes. Oz is here. From my high horse, Jack Reeves of Viking. Joe Beard, what up, man? Who's over here on Rumble? Shout out to Retro Neon. Yeah. Little technical difficulties. So we talking about your boy Trump today. You know what's weird? I feel like my bookmarks pop in. We got some big brain stuff to talk about today too. Some concerning information regarding hydration. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Why are my bookmarks coming in like this? Why is that? It's so weird. This is really weird. It's like acting like Coinbase was earlier. So Bitcoin's way up. I don't know if y'all know it. Hotep's been told you. Bitcoin's way up. Syscoin is way up. What are we looking at? What are we looking at here? Syscoin's at 19 cents. Bitcoin spiked to 64 and then dropped. ETH went up. ETH hit above 3,500. It looks like here. 34.26. Now it's at what is that? 34. Yeah, 34 and some change. So the ETH bags are looking good. The Sys bags are way up. If you were buying when I told you to, you probably bought at 11 cents. And now it's at 20 cents. So guess what? You know what that's called? That's called the double up.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
That's called the double up. That's how you double your money. That's called the double up. Been telling y'all, stack your Syscoins. Stack your Syscoins. Put some in Bitcoin, but put some in the alts. Because when the Bitcoin pumps, the alts pump. And you get higher returns on the alts. Shout out to the people I gave Syscoin to. You want some Syscoin? Go look at your bags. Hotep's been told you. It's double your money. You doubled your money. Y'all will get it sooner or later. Who in the chat? Let me see some money bags in the chat. If you listen to me and you got some Sys. Who in the chat listened to me and got some Syscoin? Should have been dollar cost averaging all the way through the bear market, waiting for the bull market. They talking about solar flares too much for me to mess with Bitcoin. If they shut power off internet, I ain't taking that L. Oh my fucking God. Jesus fucking Christ. Y'all starting this shit already. You know, of all the idiotic takes when it comes to fucking Bitcoin, that one right there has to be the most upsetting response to not getting Bitcoin. If the power goes out, I'm worried about my fucking Bitcoin. From my horse said, if they shut off the power, your bank is gone too. Thank you. Thank you. If they shut off the power, Money, period, is the least of your concern. Money, period, is the least of your fucking concern. Huh? It's the least of your concern. You gonna be worried about food, water, and your guns and protecting your shit if shit goes down. You're gonna be worried about your food. In fact, I'll be honest with you. You could probably make a Bitcoin transaction before a traditional transaction if the power goes out.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
You could probably make an offline payment with Bitcoin, L2 solutions, and it'll settle when the power comes back on. Can you do that with the traditional system? I'll wait. This is why y'all need Bitcoin education, so y'all don't go outside and say some stupid shit like this. Mike Bell says, to be honest, I'm broke, so I can't just afford it. The reason why you want Bitcoin is because you're broke, so you won't be broke no more. That's the whole point. This is going to be one of the biggest wealth transfers in history. There's like nothing like this since the gold rush. This is the modern day digital gold rush. You know what I'm saying? Jeff, shout out to Jazzy. Jazzy said, if you're worried about that, you better get a couple of acres. You better get a couple 100 acres and have some food. Right. You worried about Bitcoin. Computer said you can send Bitcoin over the radio waves. Will you please tell this guy? Jazzy said, how can you be broke and be Hotep? He must be a new Hotep. He must be a level 1 Hotep, Hotep 101. Mike Bell says, since I got your attention, though, this is my new favorite show. I'm here every day. Shout out to Mike Bell. Hey, Mike Bell, you're not officially a watcher of this show until I curse you out. I didn't curse you out, I don't think. But you're not officially in until I curse you out. I got to curse you out at some point. So this is part of your initiation. You have officially made it. Congrats to you.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
What's the lowest I can buy in? Don't think about Bitcoin like that. Do not think about any investment like that. You can never time the market. Don't try and time the market. Okay? Don't try and time the market. There's this great book written by Benjamin Graham called Intelligent Investor. I read all 500 pages of it, except for the parts about 401ks and Roth IRAs. I just kind of skipped that part. That's at the end of the book. But I read all 500 pages, so you didn't have to, but you probably should. Okay? And what he basically said is, don't day trade. This is not financial advice. You can do whatever the fuck you want. If you day trading works for you, then do it, right? Dollar cost average. Find you some safe bets and dollar cost average, okay? If you want some safe bets, join the Telegram group, and I'll give you some safe bets. The link is in the description box below. Hop in that Telegram group, say, Hotep Jesus, what are your must buys? And I'll give you a list. I'll tell you exactly what I'm in. What are my returns? Let's go over my returns in the stock market this year. Let's go year to date. What are my returns year to date? This is just on the stock market, right? This is no trading. This is no looking at my portfolio and monitoring. This is just me saying it's the first of the month and it's time for me to put more money into my investment portfolio. Year to date, stock market, I'm up 20%. That's year to date. All right. Over the past year, 365 days, 62%. Now that's just stocks. Time in the market is better than timing the market. I like that. Time in the market is better than timing the market. This is big facts. How long have you been stacking your stocks? How long have you been stacking your sats? Stack your sats, stack your sys, and figure out how much you can afford to put aside. If you have a bad habit, right? Let's say, you're broke and you have bad habits. What you do is you eliminate your bad habits, take the money you would have spent on drugs and alcohol, and buy some stocks, and some crypto. All right? Some Bitcoin, some ETH, some sys, This is what you do. You know, you got to prioritize yourself. If the people who went out and bought sneakers, bought stock, and waited 10 years, they wouldn't be broke anymore. They wouldn't be broke anymore. Currently, I'm broke proof. Currently, I am broke proof for at least a couple of years, right? Unfortunately, we have a government that says if I do sell my stocks, I'm going to have to pay capital gains on that. Did you know they was trying to pass a law where it said you had to pay capital gains tax on unrealized gains? What? That's criminal. That right there will have me at the White House on January 6th. That right there would be infuriating. Greenswell said, easiest time in human history to make a bag without working. Yeah. They're still trying to pass that? Yo, that shit is crazy, bro. That shit is absolutely crazy. Let's take a look. Let's look at some charts since we talking money. Let's just type in BTC USD. Now, here's the thing. I want to tackle a real quick argument before we get into today's topics. We got a bunch of shit to talk about, but I want to get into today's topics really fast. I want to talk about this controversy around Bitcoin and pricing it in USD, right? Pricing it in USD. Now, unfortunately, I had this epiphany a week ago, and now I can't remember it. So I'm going to have to try and talk my way through jogging my memory. So the way the thing goes is Bitcoin can't be superior because we measure it in USD. USD is the peg. Oh, I remember my epiphany now. See, I knew I talked myself right into remembering. Yeah, I'm way on that. I'm off that flow and that apex. You know, that's running through my veins right now. I got that flow pex running through my vein. Make sure you cop that. So they say, oh, you measure Bitcoin in USD, so that means USD is superior. And they're right now. So my epiphany basically said, at some point, when Bitcoin reaches mass adoption, the opposite will be true. You'll be measuring USD and Bitcoin. When you say we're measuring Bitcoin in USD, basically what you're saying is that Bitcoin is worth more than $1. But as you guys all know, the way the books are, the way the laws are written, money is whatever the government says it is. So if the government does not say Bitcoin is money, Bitcoin is not money, although you can use it to transfer value without anybody stopping you. As long as you're managing your own wallet. Whereas USD is official money because the government says so. If you don't believe me, go to your state legislature and legislation and type in what is money and see what your state classifies as money. And they basically say whatever the government deems as money is actually money. So that's what money is. So there's like various different definitions, but at the end of the day, the money is whatever the government says it is. Okay. So if the government says USD is money, and that's what everybody transacts in. So really what we're saying is there won't be a point that we start measuring things in Bitcoin until people start deciding not to use USD. And that's going to come at a point where people prefer Bitcoin over USD. Now, do I think this day will come? No, I don't think that day will come. I think it may happen in many underground pockets like it is happening today, where many people do transactions using cryptocurrency. But USD is king. And I don't think that pegging the Bitcoin to USD is a bad thing, because that's how we understand money. That's how we understand value. We were raised on this. We were raised on valuing things in United States dollars. So obviously the fastest way to correlate value or relay value to somebody is for them to communicate in USD. All right, year to date, Bitcoin, what are we up? 38%. What did I say my year to date gains was in the stock market? 6%? 20%. All right. So year to date, I said my gains were 20%. Here are the Bitcoin gains year to date. Over the past year, Bitcoin is up 164%. So, you know, you're one of those people that were skeptical And you're like, no, I don't want to buy. Bitcoin always crashes. I don't want to buy. I don't want to buy. And then it goes up and you're like, oh, wait, I should buy. And then Bitcoin goes down and you're like, damn, I should have never bought Bitcoin. Then you sell. Then it goes up again and then you go, oh, I should have never sold. Then it goes back up again and you go buy. And then it goes down and you go sell. And you never make any money because you're a fucking idiot. Because you don't know a damn thing about investing. So 2 ways to invest in Bitcoin. You have to set one of the following goals or both. Well, actually, I don't think you can do both. Yeah, whichever one comes first, I guess. So one is based upon price. You say, I'm going to sell my Bitcoin, all, some, whatever, at a set price. Let's say it's $100,000. That means you buy every month, every week, every day, whatever it is that you do. You buy it. Daily buys are pretty cool. Hourly buys are even cooler if you can pull that off. Based upon fees and shit like that. Anyway, so you can go by price or you can go by time. You can say, I'm going to sell my Bitcoin in 2028. I mean, I'm going to accumulate. And then whatever the price is in 2028, which you anticipate is going to be higher than it is now, or it's going to be higher than your average cost per BTC. I suggest buying monthly. I buy weekly. Bitcoin, I buy weekly. Every week on Thursday, my buys go through automatically. I have to store cash. I have to move cash out of my bank account into something better than USD because inflation's kicking my ass. Okay. And you have to be disciplined. Like, I don't sell my stocks. I don't sell my Bitcoin. I'm accumulating and accumulating and accumulating. Okay. And if you're looking for a quick fix, maybe you should go sell drugs.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
If you want quick money, maybe just, find a connect and sell cocaine if you want quick money. Now, this is not real advice. This is a joke, for all the people watching. But, yeah, that's definitely what you want to do. Get a pound of weed or something, some fentanyl. But investing is not for the weak, man. It's not for the weak. All right, let's get into today's topic of the day. And then we're going to come back to some more big brain shit later. All right, let's start with, hold on. I want to find Nerd's tweet first of all. Here, let's go to Nerd typed in, he said, okay. Is that his name? No, I think he changed it. Right? I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I think he changed it. What the fuck? Oh, I spelled it wrong? Okay, let's go here. I'm going to bring this up on your screen in just a second. Give me a second. Hold on now. All right, let's see what pops up. Okay, here we go. Oh, I could have pulled this from the Black Twitter Report. Here we go. So, we've been talking about the call, right? Now, this is a take you're not going to find on any other network. This is exclusive. Hotep's been told you take, but it's the call, right? And you see here, Nerd Nash says they got the call. And what is he talking about here? Fat Joe and Candace Owens. They've gotten the call. So there's a call that's going around, probably through handlers of some sort, whether it's PR, management, etc. Okay. And apparently Fat Joe got the call. If you didn't listen to the call in yesterday with Goldstein, I suggest doing so. Goldstein had a very great breakdown of sort of the subconscious messages that Fat Joe was trying to relay in his broadcast. And then, of course, we have Candace Owens and Joe Budden, their interview coming soon. My guess is they drop it on Hotep Thursday. That's my guess. Maybe we get it tonight. I'm not sure. But I think if my estimations are correct, usually shit like this happens on Hotep Thursday because everybody wants to give us something to talk about on the show. So Nurnash says they got the call. Now, something else occurred here. Let's pull this up. Here we go. So we know Benny the Butcher, he mentioned something about Trump on the album. I forget how the line goes. Chat, help me out. What's the line on his album where he mentioned something about Trump? Hold on a second. We got a $5 super. He said, I had $2,000 in Bitcoin. My Coinbase got hacked and lost all of it. How can I avoid that happening again? Okay. Wait, when did this happen? Because Coinbase said they had some glitches today and everybody's account was saying 0, but it wasn't a hack. People are saying it's a hack. Now, how did your Coinbase get hacked? That's first of all. Like, how does somebody hack your Coinbase? Somebody can't hack your Coinbase. They can hack your computer, they can hack your device, but they can't hack your Coinbase. They would need your passwords. So I don't exactly know, what your case is. We need more information. Maybe somebody installed a keylogger on your computer. Maybe somebody was looking over your shoulder, something to that effect. But your biggest mistake is leaving your money on Coinbase. If you had $2,000 worth of Coinbase, you should have moved it to a wallet of your own choice, right? That's what you should have done. Ideally, air gap. Air gap is probably your best bet if you can get it to an air gap computer. Put a wallet on an air gap computer. Yeah, 2FA. Yeah, Jazzy says 2FA. 2FA is definitely a great way to avoid being hacked. Thank you for reminding me. See, like, I forget things like 2FA because all of my shit is 2FA. So if you don't have 2FA on your crypto, it's like you're basically, they hacked yours two years ago? Word? Really? How'd they hack your Coinbase? Did they hack Coinbase? Or did they hack you? You know? So you can use a cold wallet. I think the best one is a paper wallet. Paper wallet is probably your best bet. It's probably your best bet. And you can install some paper wallet software on your computer and generate as many wallets as you want and put it on an air gap computer. Okay. Let's go back. So Benny the Butcher says, oh, they hacked you. Yeah, that's a you problem. That's not a Coinbase problem. That's a you problem. You got to step your cybersecurity up, bro. Step your cybersecurity up. Go to menoforder.com. We got a bunch of cybersecurity blogs on there. menoforder.com. Kamar does a great job on cybersecurity. Coinbase banned me because I was only using them to purchase and not store on Coinbase. As soon as I purchased, I moved from Coinbase to my wallet of choice. Coinbase might do some grimy shit like that. I could see them doing something like that potentially. Benny said he was voting Trump in August 2023. Is that what he said? Okay. So I know he said something on the album about Trump. Anyway, he says, turned down a meeting with 45 last week, right? And he's talking about Trump here. And I was wondering, it seemed a bit weird to me. I'm like, damn, nah, they got to him too. Chad's texting me. Only Chad would think it's, fine to text me in the middle of the show. I had all of my Coinbase stuff stolen 2 years ago when they hacked my email and SIM swapped my phone number because Coinbase 2FA is trash. Well, 2FA isn't. They got my Coinbase password reset code sent to them instead of me. Oh, yeah, you got SIM swapped. Yeah. So, okay, this is a great example of do not hold your fucking tokens on your phone. That's probably something you don't want to do is hold your tokens on your phone. Get you a fucking paper wallet and move your shit to a paper wallet and fucking bury it in the backyard, put it in a safe deposit box, put it somewhere safe, fucking tattoo the password on the inside of your ass cheek or some shit. Pause. But yeah, do not store your crypto on your cell phone. It's a very, very bad idea. Higo said 2FA can't be trash. Yeah, I don't know what Chad means by, Coinbase 2FA is trash, because it should require you to connect to Google Authenticator. Yeah, but again, move that shit to a wallet, bro. Move it to an air gap computer. Get you a little shitty ass laptop that's never been connected to the internet. Fucking download some wallet software onto a USB drive. Take that wallet software on a USB drive, put it on your air gap computer, and then store all your Bitcoin on that air gap computer, and then lock that bitch up. And then take your keys and put your keys somewhere safe. It's that simple. And you should have multiple wallets. Like, you should have a wallet and you store at, in the backyard. You should have another wallet that you store in fucking Bahamas, but never put all your Bitcoin in the same wallet either. Always like diversify. Because if you have all your Bitcoin in one wallet and it gets stolen, well, all your Bitcoin's gone. But if they find one wallet and it's like, oh, okay, I lost 10K, but I got 90K here. I got 30K there. I got, whatever it is. These are big numbers. Y'all are rich, not me. I don't have that type of Bitcoin. But yeah, definitely diversify your shit. So I was looking at the Benny the Butcher tweet here, turned down a meeting with 45 last week. And initially I was like, why would Benny capitulate? I'm like, I can't see it. So at the end of the day, I was confused, right? But then somebody asked him a great question. They said, why? Right? Yeah, why? And he says, for one, I'm not a politician. I'm a rapper.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
So basically what you're telling me is Benny the Butcher has, what's the word I'm looking for here? Not decorum, not morality. Honor could work here, but there's another word. I don't know what word it is, but there's another word here to describe his just blatant honesty and just staying true to himself and being true to people, right? So let's finish this and I'll dissect that piece in a second. He says, for two, people are dumb as shit and won't understand. Three, it's not that important to me. I love this. I love this response. This is what all fucking entertainers in the black community should be, right? When they get the phone call from these grifting ass politicians, it should be like, why the fuck are you calling me? I rap. Leave me alone. Click. Like, that's what should be happening. But, some people want the bag and they'll take the bag. And I'm not mad at that. You want to get your bag, a campaign is paying you to help, get your coin. I'll never be upset about that. And that's why I said, what's the word I'm looking for here, Trap? Discernment, integrity. There you go. Integrity is a good word. Thank you, Lauren. I think integrity is what I'm looking for here, right? He's got some integrity. So he says, for one, I'm a rapper. I'm not a politician. Exactly. And we're going to talk about Ms. Owens and Button in a second. Actually, let's talk about it now while it's top of mind. So I don't forget, right? So this is my issue with the Candace Owens and Button podcast. So Button calls her out and says, yo, come do the interview. Like she wasn't going to say yes. Like she not scared of no rapper. Y'all niggas can't hang with her. And that's a damn shame. Now, if it was me and I said, yo, Candace, come rap with me, oh, she would not be ready to jump at that opportunity. It's a little too above her intellectual level. No diss. I'm just saying I'm a lot older than her. Well, not a lot older, but I've been around the earth a few more revolutions than her, okay? And she's a young girl to me, and I study this shit. Like, I live this history shit, okay? I live this money shit. So, and I'm very analytical. Joe Button is not going to be able to draw out any good content from Candace Owens unless he just lets her talk. Like if he were to sit back and do a Shay Shay style interview, a Hotep Jesus style interview, a Joe Rogan style interview, then great. But if he plans on debating, this is going to be terrible. And if he does debate, it needs to be out of kindness. I don't want to see them yelling at each other and arguing and shit like that. That's going to be corny, right? But again, like Candace Owens talking to a rapper? Like, what is that doing for us? Like, like, did y'all see? Hold on, let me show y'all something. I'm going to show you what happens when Candace Owens gets in the ring, and that's the video we're going to play in a second here, gets in the ring with a Titan, right? So, and this is somebody that I myself, like when I think about preparing my brain, I think about this person in particular. Like, I want to be good enough to debate this guy. This is who I want to debate one day. Here we go. Y'all ever seen this shit? Is it not on YouTube? It was with Gavin McGinnis. How you spell his name? I don't know how to spell his name. This one right here. Cornel West and Candace Owens discuss sex slavery in America's past. Like when you watch this, you start to see how she not equipped to get in the ring with an intellectual titan. This video right here. Right? And I'm not saying because she's dumb. I'm not saying that. I'll never call Candace Owens dumb. I don't think she's dumb. What I'm saying is that this is two different levels here. And if you watch this interview, this discussion here, which is a fabulous discussion, it's just like teacher and student. He's teaching and she's listening and she's giving pushback. And he's like, all right, I got to show you why your question's stupid and why what you said, is myopic, right? So coming back, why are they reaching out to the rappers? Who are the intellectuals in the black community that they can reach out to? Them motherfuckers ain't calling me. Who are the other black intellectuals they could call? Chat, list a black intellectual. My list is slim. I got Cornel West, and that's pretty much where it stops. I got me and Cornel West.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Who are the other black intellectuals? Sonny Johnson. I'm sorry. Sonny Johnson. They ain't calling Sonny. When Sonny Johnson invites Candace Owens 2-3 times, what happens? She doesn't show up. You see what I'm saying? Intellectuals ain't got street pull. But what? But that doesn't make any sense though. Like Shaka. Yeah, Shaka's another example. Don't cap for the right. You know why they don't call you? Oh, I don't know why they don't call me. Yeah, I definitely consider Cornel West a real. But I want to kind of tackle what Protocol said here. He said, where is it? Street cred. Like, I get the whole trying to get in touch with the streets. I get that, but that ain't the voter. Like the streets ain't voting, right? And the streets could affect voters, but a conversation between Candace Owens and Joe Budden is not going to do it. Like, it's not going to be like, oh, the streets going to be like, oh, Trump's a great idea, right? This is like, the streets probably not even tuning into that episode. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when we talk about the streets, who are we talking about here? We talking about niggas on the block? And when you say streets, right, we talking about niggas on the block that is pushing? Because niggas on the block that's pushing not listening to no podcasts, They not listening to no intellectual podcast. So how do you even reach the streets? The people, the streets equal to people. Oh, okay. So you're saying that in order to reach the people, you got to go through Button, the culture. I just don't think Candace Owens is the right person for that. I don't think Candace Owens is the right person. Like, if you wanted to reach the streets, right? If you wanted to reach the culture, I think it's better to put somebody like me on, right? Like, you would put, like, it would make more sense to put Hotep Jesus on the map in that way, so I can speak to the streets, so I can speak to my people. Candace Owens not going to connect with the black audience. She's failed to do that, and she's had millions of dollars worth of funding through TPSA and their initiative. Like, amount of money that they spent during the Trump campaign, and they still couldn't reach the black community. Candace Owens is not going to be able to reach the streets. Right? It's just not possible. Yeah, like even Maj, right? Maj Toure, like put Maj on Joe Budden podcast, put Maj on, Breakfast Club. Candace Owens is not gonna convince the streets of anything. So that's why I'm looking at it like, huh? Streets listen to the big homie? Facts. He's a op? Really? You think so? Why do you think he's a op? Are you going to convince the streets to go to crypto? The streets are already in crypto. We don't even got to worry about that. The streets is definitely in crypto. They're probably in crypto more than a white conservative. So I don't understand this whole. I mean, I love this from Benny the Butcher, right? I'm not a politician. I'm a rapper. So him, talking to Trump, like, I get it. I can see why they would want to do that. But Trump should probably, like, if you want to connect with the streets, what you would do is you would get Trump and a translator. Okay? So you would get Trump with Hotep Jesus and Joe Budden. Trump, Hotep Jesus, and Benny the Butcher. You need a translator. You need somebody that can help steer the conversation so that the red whites get it and the blue blacks get it and the red blacks get it and the streets get it. You need a translator. You can't just have Trump and Benny the Butcher. There has to be a medium in between to really steer the conversation in a way that makes sense, right? You need a Sonny Johnson. He says, for two, people are dumb as shit and won't understand. That's another thing, right? Like, so Benny the Butcher takes the conversation with Trump and now he's canceled, right? And it's going to hurt his money and endorsements, et cetera, et cetera. That's a huge fear, right? And really what he's talking about here is bots and the blue blacks. The blue blacks will cancel you faster than anybody, okay? The blue blacks will cancel you faster than anybody. They will be on your bucket for leaving the Democrat plantation. Just is what it is. Yeah, Trump got Wall Street. Know thyself said the streets love crypto. Facts. The streets love crypto. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how he came to the conclusion. I understand what you're saying. You've been surrounded a lot by celebrities. Yeah, I don't know how he's an op. I can't corroborate that. But I don't know dude, so I couldn't say one way or another. 3, he said it's not that important to me. Now, this is my favorite part.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
It's like, no, like I rap. Why should I stop what I'm doing to go pay attention to some shit that I don't do, right? Like, for example, there's some shit happening with Lindsey Graham. I don't give a fuck about Congress unless they talking about this money. So I'm not going to force myself to understand some shit or learn some shit. Lauren Boebert's son got arrested. Like, we're not talking about that on the Grift Report, right? It's just like, why? Like, why? Like, it's not that important to me. And you have to know what's important to you and what's not. And to me, what's important to me is understanding business and finance, marketing, branding. These are things that I live for. These are things that are important to me. And also how to build a greater society. So some people say, Hotep, you talk about politics. I'm like, I technically don't talk about politics. There are politics and politicians involved in my discussions, but technically I talk about how to create a better society. We look at things happening today, and then I talk to my audience in a way that teaches them how to create a better society, how to create a better family, how to create a better self. We teach on this platform. That's what we do. So I love this response from Benny the Butcher. Now, let's go see what the streets are saying about Candy in this interview.
Okay, so Candace Owens seen here rubbing her hands together like she does the far-right Republican Party because she's excited to go on the Joe Budden podcast. As much as she talks about hoes and whores, she is a views whore. She would do anything for views.
Now, I'm not going to say she'll do anything for views, but she definitely going to do something for the clout. And I'm not saying that as a negative. Like, as your media personality, you got to clout chase somewhat. You got to get your grift on. You got to grift, right? So that's why I said when she got invited to do the Button podcast, I'm like, she not turning that shit down. She's she wanted grifty. She wanted grifty. This woman wanted grifty, you know? So she's definitely not running from no conversation and opportunity for some clout because that's just going to increase her net worth.
She's just as bad as the people she criticizes. I hope she gets a black pilot on the way. The only person she gets...
Said, I hope she gets a black pilot on the way. Oh, man, shots fired.
Help on that podcast is Melissa Ford, and give us some dating advice. Put some clothes on and lower your ego. It's always a question whether you give somebody like Candace Owens a platform, because that's all she really wants. And she's just going to spread nonsense and probably give no real answers. And half the things she does, there's just no real answers except for to make money and put people in power. She called.
I kind of got to agree with that. I said this before, and I'm like, Candace don't got a classic interview. She don't got a classic media moment. She doesn't have one. What's her classic media moment? You know what I'm saying? Like, she just has pandering talking points to red whites. Now, some of her latest rhetoric, I'll say, has been impressive, right? Stepping outside of the tunnel digger content. All right. Some of that content has been quite brave. And I think it's probably an op, but that's another story for another day. But I can't, for example, like when I think of white intellectuals, I think of Michael Malice. Like Michael Malice created the phrase, conservatism is progressivism doing the speed limit, right? And people run with that, and they have no idea where that term came from. It came from Michael Malice. Candace Owens doesn't have one of those. If Kanye West doesn't say, I like how you think, is Candace Owens Candace Owens? You know what I'm saying? She's not that. Ye made her.
Called herself Candy, far from eye candy. But I never watched the Breakfast Club interview in the day. They said she gave the Breakfast Club the business. I think that was a different time. Now, I don't think she believes half the shit she says. At this point
I think she believes the shit she says.
in her career, she's like Dakota Johnson promoting a movie.
So this is Royce Wynn, whoever this person is. This is his response to the Candace Owens situation. A little bit of insight into all of it, but I'm not looking forward to the Button podcast. I'm looking forward to the reactions to the Button podcast. That's what I'm looking for. The clips, the memes, that's the shit I'm looking for. And I think the majority of it is going to come from Joe's side. I think Joe's going to go super light skin on this one, get in his feels, and erupt at a certain point. And, if I had an interview with Candace Owens, the thing is with me is like, I can't really erupt during conversations with women because I just feel bad debating women. You know my rule. I don't debate women. So there's no way I could be in a discussion with Candace Owens and be frustrated because my expectations for women are low to begin with.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
For the most part, my expectations are low. It's just like, if you're not Sonny Johnson, I'm like, you're probably not going to say nothing hot, right? Like, if you don't study this shit, you're not going to say nothing hot. But if you're just a talking point person where you just talk talking points, like, and you say something, I'm just going to be like, yeah, I kind of figured you would say that. Her rhetoric is just predictable, I guess, what you can say. And I think some women's rhetoric is like, you can tell when, like, Danica Soleil, right? Danica Soleil or Soul on Twitter, like she actually has a brain. Is a woman who actually has unique and independent thought. Candace Owens saying she had unique and independent thought. I haven't seen nothing that great that makes me go, oh, this is gonna be a classic interview. You know what I'm saying? Justine said Candace got mad at Taylor Swift doing a handshake at a football game. I would listen to the Cookie Monster before I listen to her. Yeah. So let's go back. Hold on. Let's go back. We got more in here. So yeah, the Joe Budden interview, we're waiting on that. I'm a bit undecided on if I'll watch it. I think I'm going to wait for reactions. If the reactions are not monumental enough, I'm not going to watch it. But if the reactions are like, if I see the clips and the clips make me want to watch it, I'll watch it. But I'm not anticipating a great discussion. I think it's probably going to be some mid. You heard it here first. It's going to be some mid, I'm not saying that, from a place of hate. My expectations are low. And I think mostly because my standards are so high, right? Like the things I listen to. Sometimes people mention things like, oh, you didn't listen to this, you didn't listen to that. I'm like, I don't listen to that bum ass shit. Like all the people I listen to are fucking either dead or dying, right? Like, or I listen to like university level lectures on various events throughout history or documentaries. I don't listen to like modern day rhetoric, like I can't find anybody on the internet who has a dope opinion or a dope thought, like I love my boy Charles Haywood and I was digging into his content and I brought him on last week and he said one of his top generals was Elon Musk. And I'm like, damn, bro, I wanted to make you one of my heroes. He fell off my hero list just that fast, So what is it that I look for in content? I think what I look for in content is deviating from the norm, not talking about, whatever the fuck it is that everybody's talking about today. A different view on history or some uncovered facts. Or I like alternative. There we go. I like alternative shit. That's pretty much what I like. I like revisionist history. Nernash, he says, I wake up and see Fat Joe been stripped of his hip hop legend status due to him having a pair of Trump sneakers. I don't think Fat Joe had his legends. You cannot strip Fat Joe of his legend status. It's just not possible. It's just not possible. I refuse to believe it, and nobody's going to cancel him for me. Let's talk about hydration and let's talk about money. Let's talk about hydration. Let's talk about money. Hold on a second. Real quick, Meek Mill was involved in some, I don't know, sex act with Diddy. We are going to cover that on the Black Twitter Report tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Tune in tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time with Uncle Hotep, and we will discuss that during the Black Twitter Report discussion. Okay? I just don't want to talk about gay shit right now. It just is what it is. All right, let's go here. Let's talk about hydration. This is something interesting, right? So Quincy tagged me earlier. Quincy's one of our beloved truck drivers that listens to the show. And he tagged me in this and he said, yo, what the fuck is this dude talking about? So let's take a listen.
You do not drink water. Dogs drink water. Camels drink water. Four-legged beasts drink water. Do you know in order to drink water scientifically, you will have to stand on all fours, you have to elongate your neck, and you have to lap the water with your tongue? Your tongue is not even long enough and don't have the type of muscles that other mammals have to even lap that water in. In order for you to drink water, you got to close your hands together, do this. You got to do everything but what you can do naturally with it to even drink this water. You getting water in cups and glasses. You weren't born with cups, glasses, and bowls and none of that other other shit. These are utensils that you make for you can assimilate other creatures for you can start drinking these things. Just like you make knives and you make forks because you don't have claws like a carnivore, and you make these knives and these forks for you can claw and rip and tear into flesh, showing you that you were not created to eat flesh. Same thing when it comes to water. See, you're supposed to eat water. You're supposed to chew water. You're not supposed to drink water. You do.
All right. So this is what you call, like, I think some people will call it pseudo scholarship, pseudo Hotep. The sad part is, I think he's a Hebrew. Is that one of them? What's that candle called? The candles in Hanukkah and all of that. What's that thing called? Menorah? Is that a menorah? Is that what they call it? Yeah, the dreidel's the spinny thing, and that's a menorah. You got a menorah. I think one of the Hebrew Israelites we dealing with here. Is that Yaqub on the wall behind him? Anyway, so this is one of those instances where knowledge goes wrong, right? Where the truth misses people because the messenger is a little off, right? Now, he's not far off. He's just a little off. So first of all, let's deal with the drinking part, right? Like he says, you got to use your hands to drink. You technically don't have to use your hands to drink. You could just put your mouth to the water. So, I don't know what he's talking about. However, he's onto something. He's onto something that is actually true. Now, let's go to this next tweet here. Hold on. I'm going to show you something. Now, this guy is a super authority on health. And I had to go find this tweet because I remember he tweeted it. So I had to go find it. And this is Akin Olokun. And he says, drinking water is overrated. To ensure proper cellular hydration, drink freshly made organic fruit and vegetable juices. Okay. So that video where the dude is talking about, don't drink water. First of all, I would not advise somebody to not drink water, right? I think the better thing to say is what Aiken said is drinking water is overrated. You got people, they fill up their mugs and they got these like jugs that it says, it measures how much water they drink in a day. And they call themselves hydrating. Now, what happened in this instance is it will flush your system out, right? It'll definitely help flush your system out. But as far as like cellular hydration, like true hydration, it is true that if you really want to hydrate yourself, you got to do it with fruits and vegetables. That is true. That's where like the human body, because it has something to do with, actually, let me go down here and show you what he said. He had a great response right here. All right. So right here, somebody rebuts and they said, that's true, but it's not the full story. The most significant factor in achieving proper cell hydration is the molecular structure of H2O. And he responds and he says, the fundamental molecular structure of H2O is always the same. What changes is the arrangement of water molecules and their environment. And that's true. See, water is water, but water inside your body is a whole different types of beast, right? And then it's like the conversation of, what metals and minerals are in the water that you're drinking that allow for the absorption of the water, of the H2O molecule, and the enzymes, right? So when you're dealing with fruits and vegetables, those things come with all of the package delivery systems, all of the catalyzers to help your body assimilate that water. So you want to laugh at the dude in the previous video because he says all these things about the anatomy of the human being, right? The biology of the human being and, its structure. But he's actually pretty close to the truth. If you want hydration, wouldn't fruit give you the shits, cause dehydration? What? I don't know what he's talking about. Matt Miller said, Dr. Sebi Ben told you. Yeah, Sebi went over this too. Hydration takes a number of days. It's not just let me drink 5 bottles today and none tomorrow. Yeah. Justine says H2O doesn't maximize absorption wise. Correct. Too much sugar with fruit juice. Well, it depends, right? So you got different, like all sugar is not equal, right? You got monosaccharides and you got polysaccharides, and all polysaccharides are not made equal. So you have some polysaccharides which are, your fructose that you may experience from high fructose corn syrup, et cetera, et cetera. And some of those polysaccharides are not good for you. That's like bad sugar. But then there's good sugar, right? And that's what you would get from a fruit. But when you say too much sugar, it's not the same type of sugar, and it's not the same sugar once your body absorbs it. It's not the same sugar. It changes once your body assimilates it. So all sugar is not the same, and all sugar does not interact with the body the same, right? And sorry if I'm not getting too detailed on this, because I studied this probably 10 years. Ali Shakur used to be all into this shit. So this is just leftover knowledge. Michael X says fruit equals water. Yeah. So if you look at something like, a melon, for example, like most melons are like 90% water. One of the other hydrators is coconut water, right? Coconut water is something that your body can assimilate real well. And I believe during, was it World War I or World War II, they were using coconut water as a substitute for blood plasma. Let me see if I can find something on that. Coconut water, blood plasma. Let me see here. Yeah, here we go. There's a whole lot of intravenous use of coconut water. Hold on, let me see so I can see. Intravenous, can coconut water mimic human plasma? So there's some interesting things about now don't go in here and think like, oh, this is a substitute. Like that's what this. See, that's the thing. Like you'll have Snopes, right? And Snopes says, can coconut water be used as an intravenous substitute for blood plasma? And no, it can't. But that's not what's happening here. That's not what's happening here. I don't know. I don't remember all the details, but if you dive into this, you'll find the nuance in why they used it as a substitute in extreme circumstances for blood plasma, as in somebody, right here. During World War II in the South Pacific, did doctors use coconut water when out of blood plasma, right? And there's a lot of discussion about this. Some people say no. Some people say yeah, whatever. My pushback is always, Big Pharma don't want you to know this, right? So you're going to get some guy who comes in and goes, it's an urban legend. There are no confirmed reports and all this shit, because then Big Pharma don't get paid. So that's why you're always going to have a big pushback when people start talking about Ayurvedic and, Ayurvedic medicine, Eastern medicine and all of that stuff. Justine says, what does scripture say about fruit? Look it up, type it in the chat. I'll read it. All right, let's talk about some money here. Hold on. Let's go back. But yeah, if you want to hydrate, with fruits. Now, I'm not going to say don't drink water. Like, if you're thirsty, fucking drink water, bro. But if you want to hydrate, get some apples and stuff and some celery and, throw it in the juicer and make some juice. And I'm telling you right now, there's nothing. I want you to try it. I want you to drink a glass of water. Then I want you to, basically go on a journal and write how you feel 30 minutes later. Then I want you to juice fresh fruit. And then I want you to record how you feel 30 minutes later. It's like a complete difference. Like you're everything about you just sort of like springs to life. You know what I'm saying? So don't believe the hype on, drink water. It's a lot of other things that your body needs in order to assimilate water. All right, let's go to the money. Where's the money tweet? All right, here we go. All right, let's play this. If you're a frequent listener of the Grift Report, this is not news to you. This is a refresher. If you're new here, then, well, you're about to learn something.
Pay attention. Look.
For instance, the financial situation of the United States. When I talk to my conservative friends right here, they always tell me that the problem is high taxes, but they're wrong. Of course, high taxes are extremely high here in the United States. I give you that. You're right in that. But that's not the real problem. The real problem is not the high taxes themselves, but the fact that they are not even really funding the government. But even those high taxes, higher than a lot of places in the world, but even those taxes are really funding the government. So who's financing the government? Government is financed by treasury bonds, paper. And who buys the treasury bonds?
Now, he says the government is financed by treasury bonds, paper, and I don't know if they actually print these treasury bonds or if they keep them digitally. Can somebody tell me if they actually print the treasury bonds? Something in me says no. It's probably just recorded on a digital ledger somewhere.
Mostly the Fed. And how does the Fed buy them? By printing money. But what backing does the Fed have for that money being printed? The treasury bonds themselves. So basically, you finance the government by printing money out of thin air. Someone could ask...
Somebody just yelled Bitcoin.
Someone could ask, well, so if the government can print unlimited amounts of money out of thin air, why do they collect taxes?
He's hitting on something very real right now. I'll explain it in a little bit if he doesn't.
I mean, in theory, it would make sense, right? If they can print unlimited amounts of money, why would they need taxes for? The answer is simple, but it's very shocking. The real problem is that you pay high taxes only to uphold the illusion that you are funding the government, which you are not. It's shocking, but it's true. The government is funded by money printing, paper backed with paper, a bubble that will inevitably burst. The situation is even worse than it seems, because if most Americans and the rest of the world were to become aware of this farce, confidence in your currency would be lost, the dollar will fall, and the Western civilization with it. If the next president of the United States doesn't make the necessary policies and structural changes, sooner or later that bubble will burst. There's still time. You don't have to make the same mistakes we did in the 60s and the 70s. You can still jump before the water boils.
So I wish he watched the Grift Report, because then he could have made his speech better. So yes, taxes are sort of look over here so you don't see what's happening over here. Let me read some of this stuff in the chat, because you guys are dropping some good information in the chat. Chat said it's still referred to as commercial paper in investment jargon. That's true. That's true. They're issued now in electronic form only. That's what I figured. You still need taxes and rates to validate the fake bonds. That's true. The bonds are based upon the fact that the government is collecting taxes, right? So a bit of it, maybe just an omission from the gentleman here, but that's true. Look up structured water and you can get the insight to the benefits of water and fruits. Ah, yes, the structure of water. Thank you, Andre K. Also, somebody mentioned in the chat, eat your fruit, don't drink it. That's also true. You eat your fruit and drink your vegetables. That's what Aiken said. Eat your fruit and drink your vegetables. The only problem is drinking your vegetables tastes nasty, so I got to throw an apple or something in there just to make it taste edible. Otherwise, the celery and shit is just blah. Celery and cucumber, blah. I need something to sweeten it up. So, but it's right. Eat your fruits, drink your vegetables. You know, sometimes people put their vegetables on a kid's plate. No, make your kids drink their vegetables. And then they'll get those valuable nutrients and minerals in their diet. He said they pay way less taxes in Dubai and their cities are made of gold. All right, what is the other P I want to talk? Oh, okay, the bubble. So the dollar bubble. Let's talk about the dollar bubble really fast. All right, so in order to understand the dollar bubble, we got some new information that hit my desk this morning. And we're going to go to phone lines right after this, 202-596-5631. Text Hotep in your name to 202-596-5631. Let's go right here. And so Russia is preparing basically a CBDC bridge system. It might be on the M-Bridge technology, not really sure. But Russia is, and they're supposed to be doing this test with China, right? And basically what they're going to do is, and everybody has pretty much anticipated this, but I think initially what happened was Russia and China probably looked at it like, you know, I want to back the BRICS coin with the ruble, or I want to back it with the renminbi, right? Instead, what they're doing here is sort of a wholesale CBDC atomic swap, so that currencies can be exchanged at their actual value at that time, without having to create a BRICS coin. So instead of having a BRICS coin, you have a BRICS system. Now, on top of this BRICS system could come a BRICS coin, but I think you have to have this system in place and have the currencies moving and flowing through each other to find out, you know, what is the liquidity, what is the volume, what is the market cap, and then put the coin on top of that, right? If that makes sense, hopefully. And all of this is speculation. I'm pulling this out of my ass, but I'm usually right. So you could run with this. Just make sure that you understand that what I'm talking about right now is pure speculation. This is what I think is going to happen, right? So we have, this actually is happening, right? Is in discussions where the Russian finance minister was like, we propose to set up a BRICS digital currency system with China. They want to test it and then include all of the other BRICS countries in it. The problem with releasing a BRICS currency right away is that it's probably going to be backed by Russia and China, which would give them all pull and power. But also with that pull and power comes all risk, because if somebody has a run on the money, then, well, they got to back that, right? But it also leaves countries like India and South Africa without much say so. However, if you set up the system first, you basically, you pay what you weigh. If currencies are moving through this system and, India has 12% of the system, well, they're 12% backing the BRICS coin when they decide to release them. So what does this have to do with what he just said about the U.S. dollar? So what he says is that there's going to be a bubble and the U.S. dollar is going to fail. And what I'm here to tell you is that that is not true. It's not true. The U.S. dollar is not going any fucking where. The U.S. dollar has never been stronger. Now, you might say, that's ridiculous because of inflation. Look at the price of my food, da-da-da-da. Okay, yeah, that's true. But that's at the street level. When we're talking about world finance, and I talked about this before, we're talking about USDT and USDC. USDT and USDC has taken the dollar places that the dollar wish it could have gone. Okay? So once the United States government decides to turn USDT and USDC into a public utility, the dollar ain't going nowhere. I mean, like literally USDT and USDC are keeping the dollar afloat right now. Okay? Literally. Like cryptocurrency right now is not transacted in dollars. It's not. It's transacted in USDT and USDC, right? That's what people are transferring back and forth through the different systems. Now, obviously, you can, go to Coinbase and take money out of your bank account and purchase cryptocurrency. However, if you want to buy Syscoin, you're gonna need that. You're gonna need some USDT. You're gonna need some USDC, USDT. You're gonna need something like that. If you really, really want to play this crypto game, at some point you're gonna be using USDT. When you're talking about DeFi, you're probably gonna be using USDT, right, or USDC. If you're talking about DeFi, decentralized finance, you're not gonna be doing decentralized finance with US dollars. So USDT and USDC has taken a dollar to heights that could not be imagined, or maybe it was imagined, and that's why they exist. So the dollar's not going anywhere. And also, we have all these legislations. Ted Cruz introduced some legislation where he said he wants to, anti-CBDC bill, right? This is what Ted Cruz proposed on Monday. So you got a bill in the House, you got a bill in the Senate that are anti-CBDC. And I'm looking at it like, I'm always trying to stay 10 steps ahead of them. And I'm like, all right, so this bill has to be some complete and utter bullshit. What's the loophole? And the loophole is to just turn USDT and USDC into a public utility, and all of the surveillance and tracking already comes along with that.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
So if the Fed wants to, they'll just say, hey, Congress, we're not going to roll out a CBDC. We're going to make USDT and USDC a public utility. And they have their CBDC without calling it a CBDC. So all the states can run around creating all the legislation that they want. But at the end of the day, the bank is going to find a loophole. They are going to find a loophole. So no, the dollar's not going anywhere. Never fear. The bankers are here. Now, what is going to happen is going to be a consolidation. Some people call it a banking collapse, right? And I don't like that term. For example, you'll say, oh, America's about to face a banking collapse. And then somebody's response to that will be, you guys been saying that for years now, and it just hasn't happened. As if we didn't watch Silicon Valley Bank tank and the SVB and First Federation or whatever the name of that bank was, and a whole bunch of other banks that folded early last year, right? But it's not a bank collapse. It's a bank consolidation. It's a bank consolidation under the people that control our monetary policy, which is J.P. Morgan, okay? Citibank, Bank of America, all right? And I think Wells Fargo is probably 4th or 5th place or something like that on there. But it's called a banking consolidation. That's the correct term. If you come to the Grift Report and you go home and you tell people there's a banking collapse coming, don't tell people you listen to me. Please don't. If you listen to me, say there's a bank consolidation coming. Say that. There's a bank consolidation. So you don't sound like the fucking idiots running around on the internet talking about the banks are going to crash. The banks are going to crash. And even when it happens, that's what the headlines are going to say. There's a banking collapse. There's a banking crash. And I'm going to be like, no, it's not. It's a bank consolidation. That's really what this is. Because the money doesn't just disappear. The debt doesn't just disappear. It gets absorbed somewhere. And the Fed is going to help bail some banks out. And where, some banks lack the capital to be a part of that consolidation, the Fed will come in and make up some new rule like they did during the 2008 housing crisis, mortgage crisis, and just make up some new rules to find a way to print cash. It's just that simple. So bank consolidation, not bank collapse. Let's go to the phone lines. Text Hotep in your name to 202-596-5631. Text Hotep in your name 202-596-5631. I'll be right back after this short, brief commercial break.
Envision a sanctuary where community and sustainability are the cornerstones of living. In this haven, every family is able to grow their own food, children flourish through homeschooling tailored to unlock their full potential, and education extends beyond textbooks, instilling self-worth and a deep understanding of the world around them. Here, goodwill isn't just an ideal, it's the essence of daily life, where respect for law and order harmonizes with the community's resourcefulness. This place isn't just a dream, it's a call to action for everyone who believes in a better, more connected way of living. Join us in building a future where each individual's contributions create a tapestry of enduring harmony and prosperity. Join us in Hotepistan.
All right, let's get some callers in here. Who this? Justine? Let's get Justine in here. Hotep Justine about to call in. Justine, go ahead. Hit my line. We're going to get you on here right now. My uncle juiced veggies for decades. Now his guts are fucked. Cook your veggies. I don't know about that. You can't just say it's, because he juices veggies that his guts are fucked up. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right. There could be a multitude of factors there. Right? Like, was there the right amount of fiber going into his diet per day? What did he ingest to have, like, the right probiotics in his body? Shit like that. What did he put in his body that destroyed the gut bacteria? There's a lot of different factors to this. Justine, what's up? What you got to add to the conversation today? I know you're very knowledgeable. What you got for us today?
Well, part of the reason why I feel somewhat knowledgeable is because of Yakai Awakened. Like, I've been following him for years.
Who?
And the guy in the clip, the camel clip.
Oh, okay.
So when it comes to him, like, a lot of people, it's easy to let things go over our heads, right? Because it sounds so out of order.
Yeah.
But one thing about him, all you got to do is look him up. Like, it just takes one time and to know his story. Like, the thing about him is he used to be heavy into, like, the street life and cocaine and alcohol. And what happened was, I guess he had, like, a heart attack or multiple heart attacks. Don't quote me on that. I know he had at least one. I can't really recall if he was, like, having another one at the hospital. But it shocked him because they were telling him, like, dude, you have so much scar tissue on your heart, and, you got to change your life or you're going to die. And this is when, like I said, he's pretty young now, I think. I want to say he's only like 30-ish.
Okay.
And so this happened a while back, but he talks about how everybody's bringing up Dr. Sebi, right? So what happened was he said he was on YouTube, and he came across some white guy, who had a lot of, interesting things to say about the holistic approach, the natural approach. And so he related to it, but then you know how the suggestions come up, then he came across Dr. Sebi. And so he's taken, like, his life's work has pretty much turned into studying everything and putting it all together in order to just spread information. And now he's like, he preaches the same thing about not believing that any disease is incurable, not believing that, all these autoimmune diseases and all this stuff, really everything is a matter of detoxing, right? And he calls it, he has another expression, something about a lymphatic, situation.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm just so excited that people are talking about him because, like, in fact, I've been wanting to take his 3 bitters, like, cleanse detox forever, and I just started. And it's like a 3-part herbal system where the first one, like, cleanses out your nervous system or your lymphatic system in your skin, and the other one does, like, your oh my gosh, my brain's gonna. Anyway, then you have your colon and your nervous system. Oh, your organs and your blood is the second one. So, yeah, if y'all, I know it's funny. I know it seems goofy. Here's the other thing about him.
I'm laughing at Lauren just blocked somebody in the chat. But go ahead, finish.
Yeah. No, the other thing about him is he sounded very passionate and excitable. That clip is not really a representation of how he carries himself most of the time. Like he talks really fast, and you're going to have to take notes anytime I mean, within 30 seconds, you're going to be like, where is my notebook? Yeah. But so that was really, to me, like, that seemed, he usually doesn't come across like that.
I get it. I know what you're saying. That's why I didn't want to, diss brother, because I don't know him. I don't know. It's just a clip taken out of context. And I wanted to defend him because he did have some facts in there, right? Like the hydration you get from fruits is definitely going to hydrate you better than just drinking, some fucking spring water. You know what I mean? And he was absolutely on point with that. And again, like I always tell people, man, listen to your body. Like drink some water and then drink some juice, right? Like some fruit juice or some vegetable with fruit juice, and then tell me how you feel after you try both. And majority of the time, I'm sure you're gonna feel better after the fruit juice. I know I feel like mad refreshed after having some juice. It's like I get a jolt of energy. You don't get the same thing from water. You just, water more or less satisfies like hunger.
Yeah, it's more empty than fruit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other thing I heard somebody mention it about, or maybe it was you, as far as the Black Hebrew Israelite thing. So the crazy thing is, when I first started, well, probably in between, like probably a couple years ago, he actually has like 2 debates on YouTube that it's kind of like a part 1 and a part 2, where he's not trying to bash scripture, but he digs all the way deep down into, and he talks about how, look, I'm not going to bash it. That's what saved me. But he is the type of person that once you start listening to him, you will understand this dude knows what he's talking about. And, when it comes to the water stuff, so like I said, I encourage people to just take 5 minutes and you'll be blown away. But with the water stuff, everybody thinks they know everything because of, look what they do to water. They commercialize it.
Yeah.
Oh, now we have alkaline water. That's not even natural alkaline water.
Yeah.
That is modified fake alkaline. And so now we run around here acting like we're all, hoity-toity. I did the same thing. And it's not. So we always have to dig deeper. Everything isn't just on the surface all the time. So I think that's pretty much all I have.
No, that's dope. I appreciate that input, man. Appreciate you. I love your participation in the chat. You are a gem. You are a jewel. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you. Have a blessed day, guys.
Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill.
Shaq Toshi want to call on. Let's get Shaq Toshi in here. And we got Strong Dad waiting. He's Hotep? Yeah, he's definitely Hotep. Our ancestors didn't have blenders. They're solids for a reason. Don't turn them into liquids. Maybe. I would say our ancestors definitely had juicers. I would not say our ancestors did not have juicers. Ancestors definitely had juices. Not juices like you might assume, but they was definitely squeezing water out of plants. That's for sure.
Call from
Shaq Toshi.
Shaq Toshi, what's up, bro?
What's going on, y'all?
Not much. What you got to add to the conversation today?
Put these headphones in real quick.
All right. Water bottles have residue of plastics. Yeah, also true. If you're gonna get water, you definitely got to get the glass bottle. Yeah.
I appreciate what was that first caller's name? I don't want to mess it up.
Who's that? The caller just now?
Yeah.
Justine?
Yeah, Justine. I appreciate what Justine was just saying.
Yeah.
Like, man, don't everybody don't know everything when we start talking about, the proper foods, diets, and being more holistic on the front end,
Right.
Health as well. That's not really why I'm calling in today. You know why I'm here.
Well, you want to talk about money and
yes,
crypto.
Sir.
Let's talk about it.
Yes, sir.
Hit me with it. Pause.
I seen Buddy in the chat talking about he got hacked or something. Most likely just because of a phishing scam is my assumption. Or
No, he got
swap.
SIM swapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that happens on a daily, and it's not in crypto. People getting SIM swapped for their Twitter accounts, XYZ, any social media, really. But, man, we need to stop chasing these Ponzi schemes. Oh, damn. Stop chasing these Ponzi schemes and just focus on Bitcoin. Stack your sats. Don't worry about nothing else.
You ain't got no sis?
I ain't got no sis, brother.
You gotta get some sis in your bags, man.
I might look into it, but
you gotta
know,
keep at least 2 alts next to the Bitcoin.
I got 2 alts.
Okay, all right.
They not. You know, I'm 95% of my wealth is in Bitcoin.
Okay. What's your address?
My crypto? You crazy. Nah, you ain't gonna be able to get that because I'm already set up. I'm air gapped. I'm a cold wallet down. You ain't touching mine.
You ain't getting to it?
You ain't getting to it.
I could pull it out of you. I got some ancient Hotep interrogation methods, man. I get it. I get the keys out of you.
I'll die before that happens.
But what you want to contribute as far as the crypto conversation is concerned?
Man, I just want to circle back to what we was talking to probably like a few months back. And I was like, man, look at the possibility when we was discussing the ETF when it wasn't even around and they was talking about it and it got delayed and whatever the case may be. Bitcoin fell when it launched and all this other shit. But my point is that the token itself had to be expensive or has to be expensive in order for the mass population to gain some sort of interest. My thinking about it is that even though we know it's wrong, at least not the Hotep community, but the other 99.9% of the population, they only going to be intrigued if it's of a higher status, like a Gucci bag, like a Louis Vuitton, like some resold sneakers on gold or whatever the hell it may be. Mm-hmm. The players aren't going to get it until they can't get it. And they're going to work their entire lives to accumulate it, to earn some type of piece for it, whether it be a job, a side gig, a hustle, whatever the case may be. Because the fact is, if we look at it from where it's at right now, we almost crossed the old all-time high of 2021 at 68, 69,000. We was at 64,000 this morning. And you go on Google Trends and you search Coinbase or Bitcoin, it's at an all-time low, which means the masses hadn't even joined the party, and we almost at an all-time high.
Big facts.
The BlackRock's volume today on their Bitcoin ETF, we got 30 minutes till the close. Last time I checked, it was $2.4 billion in inflows. Mm-hmm. Rumors circling around, Jeff Bezos been selling off Amazon. He bought $3.3 billion worth of iBit and $1.33 billion of Bitcoin itself.
He moved his money.
Yes, sir. He was just spotted.
That's what I was thinking when I saw it. They was like, oh, is this some signal of a crash? And I'm like, how do we know he didn't just move to another asset? So I'm glad you said that. Yeah, that's great. So he bought Bitcoin.
That's the rumor circling around in the Bitcoin community. But he was just spotted with Michael Saylor a week ago.
Uh-oh. Yeah, he definitely bought Bitcoin.
And it's funny because that's the same shit that happened the last cycle when he convinced Elon to do it for Tesla. But it seems Jeff, if it is true, Jeff is doing it for his personal gain.
Well, of course. Absolutely.
And there's many other things going on, man. The grayscale outflows have been lowering every day, which means the bleeding is finna stop. And now you're finna have 12 ETFs fighting for 1.8 million Bitcoins on exchanges, and the Hotep community fighting for it, the Sonny Johnsons of the world fighting for it, every other nation state around the world fighting for it. And the rest is going to be mine in the next 100 years. You got Larry Fink talking about it's a store of value.
Yeah.
You can't have Paul's Big Daddy of Wall Street talking about it's a store of value, and then the old heads of the legacy world are dying off, Charlie Munger already out. Daddy Rothschild already out. Who next? Money going to the heirs, and the heirs want Bitcoin.
The heirs want Bitcoin. It's big facts. It's big facts.
These ETFs, I was just telling my boy today, I said these ETFs, they not buying to sell next cycle. They're not buying to sell at the top. They hold for fucking decades.
Yeah. They hold it. They hold it, bro. Yeah.
I mean, we could. I love me some altcoins. I like me a good 10x pump, a 20x pump. You know, make some quick gains and all that.
Yeah.
But if we really here for the long term, we need to be smart and ethical about these things. If they holding for a long term, I'm holding for a long term, and I'm stacking sats every fucking day.
Here you go.
Back in January, where was he at? We was at 48. We dipped down to 38. Niggas should have been stacking sats. Now we at 60. When I called in October, in November, 26, 28, 32. Stop playing games with your life, your future, and your progeny, and get right.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Facts.
And then that weird ass motherfucker Michael in the chat. This is where I'm gonna end off. You weird fuck. You talking about cash and banks being secured or insured, motherfucker. You getting inflated away at 15% a year. You can't afford the shit you could afford today. You can't afford yesterday with today's money, motherfucker. But I can, because my Bitcoin up 120%. What about you, cash boy? Ain't that weird ass shit, boy? You sound like a fucking fed. Boy over there tap dancing for the black hats in the Rothschild banking system. Boy, if you don't get your ass up out the Hotep chat with that shit, that shit just be pissing me off. Everybody get a cold wallet and stack your stats. Forget about it for 30 years and thank me later.
Shaq Tozy, I appreciate you, man.
Man, appreciate y'all.
All right, yo, Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill.
You know, the next best thing to me ranting is hearing y'all rant. Oh, Lord. He said, you sound like a fed. I love when y'all go off. Oh, my God. That's the best part of my day. Strong Dad, go ahead. Get in here. Pause. A year ago, we got down to 15K. That's when I stacked. Jimmy Das Hotep has entered the chat.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
It's just me over on Rumble said, light him up. Truth Reason said, Hotep is my #1 listen/follow tie with Sonny Johnson. I love the callers. Thank you, man. The callers are amazing.
Call from
Strong Dad. What up, man?
Oh, what's up? I like that rant. That rant was good, yo.
Amazing. Epic.
On fire.
Yeah.
It was real epic. That was real epic. So I'm gonna say the crypto. I think I'm gonna just start with that, and then I'm gonna end off with the hydration talk.
Okay. No, start with the hydration and end with the crypto.
Okay. Word.
What do you have to say about the hydration?
You know, I mean, I agree. I would put some caveats in there.
Okay.
You still do actually need water, and you do need more than just fruit to hydrate. Salt also, and if you don't believe that's true, you can see people who have adopted healthy fruit living lifestyles and have eliminated salt and water and have passed away by mistake.
Yeah.
But you do need there's some caveats to all that, but I do wholeheartedly agree with that, and especially because people's gut biomes are so different that it's better to make sure that they're eating whole food ingredients and that they're sourcing their food right. So
yeah, I
would rather say that than be like, oh well, the nuance says maybe you should eat 5 grams. Now he's right. The concept is right. Now, see, there's a few things when it comes to when it comes to our ancestors and their food use. For me, what I've come to learn, fruits were the things we ate and vegetables were the things we used for medicine. every vegetable, but most vegetables. And there is,
that's true.
So, you know, I used to be carnivore, and I've since then kind of moved into just having a balanced diet. But I've learned about some of the myopic views on both sides.
Yeah.
And when you're on the carnivore side, you know, it gets really just kind of distorted to support a lot of facts regarding what you actually need from vegetables.
Yeah.
Well, all right, about the inflammation component in vegetables, and you know, spinach is high in oxalates, and those hamper nutrient absorption. So, you know, there are certain things that ancestors were actually eating, but they were doing it for medicinal purposes. Now, I'm not saying that's for everything. And again, everything is a grain of salt, because it doesn't apply for everyone. And that's, again, our ancestors said that very much. They troubleshooted with vegetables and herbs, medicines, you know, well before it became a part of our diet. So I would just throw that in there. So for me, there are vegetables I like, but I primarily resort to fruits for fiber and even carbs. I don't necessarily resort to vegetables for most things.
Yeah.
The
vegetables are definitely more of a medicine. You know, like they say, when you're healthy, eat fruits. When you're sick, eat vegetables. That's one thing I saw somebody say. Obviously, you want to do both, but yeah.
Man, and I wholeheartedly believe in that. So I think that that's a good way to approach a diet for any person, really.
Yeah.
You know, and I just get so upset with diet information in the Hotep community, because it's peppered with a lot of science that
it's dogma. It's peppered with dogma. That's
it's
really
dogma.
what it is.
You know, hey, black people got an aversion to a lot of the things the white man be doing. And in the Hotep world, when it comes to knowledge, there's some things that we won't even look at because the white man brought it to us. And so I think that prevents us from being a little more open-minded with newer sciences, newer discoveries. So, you know, I would urge, you know, some seeking.
Yeah.
Based on that. But, you know, I'm not going to be dogmatic.
So what you got?
I've never been dogmatic.
What you got on crypto?
So, listen. Be honest.
Here we go. You about to sound like a boomer, ain't you?
I'm going to be honest. I pay attention to everything that I pay attention. Yo, no, listen, y'all, just hear me out, all right? I pay attention to everything I'll talk about.
You are a no coiner? Are you a no coiner? You have no coins?
I only got Ethereum. That's it.
Damn.
When you talk about crypto, sometimes I out, because during, you know, when everybody was losing their money, just gotten into it, and my business was also new and scammed out of a lot of money. And ever since then, just looking at crypto makes me sick. I'm saying, and people got to understand, not everybody comes from a certain position. Like, I own a business. So yeah, I don't got crypto, but can confidently say that I own and operate a business. So it's not like I'm out here.
Let me give you some advice. Let me give you some advice to ally your fears, okay? And this goes for all investing, right? So what you do is, let's say you invest $100 into something, right? And that thing pumps, right? Let's say, you know, you got lucky and you bought Facebook stock at when it IPO'd, or Amazon stock when it IPO'd, and it ballooned, right? Or Twitter stock, right? For that matter. So what you can do is you can safeguard your principal, right? Your principal is your initial investment, okay? So if you put $100 in and the stock ballooned, you can take that $100 out, and now you could never lose money. You technically can't lose money. You could take $110 out and say, I made 10%. That's really good, right? And then you just keep the other principal in there, right? The other, you keep your gains in there and let your gains grow. You can do that method. And that's a way you can say, I'm in crypto and there's no way I could lose money because I took my principal out already. But I think the best bet is to DCA and take profits when you can. I believe in taking profits. I don't believe in, always holding all of your Bitcoin. I think it's safe to take profits here and there.
See, and here's the thing.
You gotta pay taxes.
Made all of the wrong moves a long time. When you look at every brand that pumped, like, fucking Tilray pumped. I had money in that shit.
Oh, I remember that shit.
Yo, all of that stuff.
I never got into that.
My money in when it was all low.
I only do blue chip. I don't play around.
Fucking Stanley. I invested in this shit.
And you invested in Morgan Stanley?
Stuff that I knew. No, the cup. That fucking cup.
Oh, the Stanley Cup.
That coffee cup.
Yeah.
I invested in all that stuff when it was crap. Failed by taking money out because we needed it. Our business needed it. My child needed to eat. I needed to pay bills.
Yeah.
Just reintegrate fresh to not because I'm paranoid.
Here's the thing.
I am a boomer.
Here's the thing.
I'm an analog nigga.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you how black people lost. Okay, big. And not a lot of people talk about this. White people lost too. Great Depression, right? Prior to the Great Depression, you had an economy that was booming, right? So everybody bought at the high. The Great Depression comes around, and you didn't stack you didn't stack no paper. You didn't keep anything liquid. So as prices of things begin to drop, you start selling your land below the value you bought it for. So now you're losing money, right? The issue is when the economy's booming, you should be saving cash so that when it crashes, you can buy the low, right? So what happens is the United States of America goes through these cycles every 10, there's like little cycles that are like decade cycles. Then there are like mini cycles that are like election cycles. Then there are bigger cycles, every 50 years or whatever it may be, right? So, and this is all like pre-planned. It's in my book, The Patriot Report, Unmasked Conspiracy, Money, and War, available at HotepJesus.com.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
And so basically what happens is because people don't understand the cycles of our economy, the cycles that are manipulated by the big bankers, they end up losing more money by not speculating on stocks and crypto than they would have made because you're gonna get killed by inflation. You're gonna get killed by rising prices of goods and things, right? So what you got to do is you have to look at the markets. You have to look at the news and see what the news says. The news says, yo, we are in a bubble. Everybody's doing well. Everybody's, buying. You should be hoarding cash, right? And so I read The Intelligent Investor over a decade ago, right? So I always had these lessons in my head. So when I saw we were in a bubble, I stacked cash. And I'm looking at the price of things go up, and I'm like, oh, look how much money I could have made. But when the economy crashed during the pandemic, I had cash to go buy stocks and go buy Bitcoin because I stocked up my cash. So I'm like recession proof. The biggest issue in America is that Wall Street runs everything and nobody understands Wall Street. If you are going to live in the United States of America, you must know investing. It's like a science that needs to be studied, but nobody studies it, right? It's like knowing 1 + 1. Like if you don't know 1 + 1, you're an idiot. If you don't know investing, to me, you're a fucking idiot. No offense, right? But it's one of those things. Like just like how you say, you got to study the human body, you got to study, working out, you got to study diet. Those things are things people don't study, and you're an idiot if you don't study them. If you don't know your own human body, you're an idiot, right? If you never sat down and did your own studies on the body, human diet, medicine, and all of this shit, plants, herbs, and all of that, if you never sat down for a year or two straight and really dug into some of the alternative science, you're a fucking moron. Same thing with investing. It's one of those sciences that are hidden, not taught in high school, on purpose, that you got to learn on your own. And if you don't do it, you'll always be behind the 8 ball in the United States of America.
Yeah. And I figured I would just lean into my business. and that would be
so that's
what
cash
allows
flow
me
is king
to make
right?
it through that. But
yes.
that's
So
not,
you're in a situation
it has
where
to be more than that.
Well, again, this is why it comes back to investing, because cash flow is king, right? If you don't have cash flow, you can't invest. So somebody who doesn't have cash flow literally can't invest. But once you start getting cash flow, you gotta know investing so you know what to do with that little bit of extra, because that shit's gonna compound over time. If you invest it $100 a week, whatever it is, that little bit is going to be huge.
Right.
I have one Bitcoin account that I buy $100 worth of Bitcoin every week. I'm not going to tell you, I can't tell you, but I'm 5 figures off of $100 a week, bro, in Bitcoin. Usually when my daughter asks for money, I send her Bitcoin out of that account because it's just like money I just don't look at, right? I just say, here's some Bitcoin, here,
right?
Sell it and do whatever the fuck you want, kill yourself, whatever, right? So you have to begin with Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. You can listen to the audio for free on YouTube, but you have to know how to manage your own portfolio, and you got to start putting money away in stocks and bonds, land, and Bitcoin. Syscoin is definitely recommended, my sponsor. But you got to study investing. It's a science that every human being must know, and it shocks me how many people don't know it. And it's one of those things that the Illuminati's like, people can complain about the system's unfair, but everybody who understands investing is winning.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. Even the Ethereum is the only thing that I actually made a smart move in, and it gave me enough money that I can mess around with that. But I'm in my head like, how do I even attempt to mess around with that? I'm an ex-con. I'm not tech savvy. Like the iPhone came out.
So I'm not tech savvy. Who had a tweet the other day about people somebody had a tweet the other day about people. He said people who say they're not tech savvy are just admitting that they're lazy. I think that's what he said. Who is that? Ajax? I think Ajax.
I know for sure.
There's no such thing as not being tech savvy.
Absolutely.
It just means you haven't taken the time to sit down and learn the shit.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm not saying I'm not saying I haven't taken that step. It's just been everything that I've had to deal with.
I get it. You were in a place.
My identity got stolen at one point.
Yeah, so you were in a place where you did not have cash flow for investing in, and people who don't have cash flow, there's no reason you can't invest. If you don't have cash flow, you can't invest. It's just the bottom line.
And now I don't want to let go of my cash flow because I don't,
And that's a big hurdle to get over. It's very hard to do that.
They boogeyman me.
Yeah.
It is. I got to
take it from me.
I'm being honest though. I was gonna, it's crazy. I was gonna DM you this, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna ask you on the show because I'm sure there's other people who think the same thing. We'll thought the same thing. So
yeah, but let me get to the next caller.
I gotta be honest about it
because I got to dip early today.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
All right, yo, Hotep and Bill. It's very hard to. We're gonna get Goldstein in here. Goldstein calling. It's very hard to relinquish your cash flow, right? Especially when you went so long. I know because I experienced this. I went so long without cash flow that when I got cash flow, I wanted to hoard it and save it. And then it was just like, it came to a point where it was just like, well, if I'm saving it, I might as well put it into something where your money's working.
Call from
Murphy.
Yeah, compound interest. Goldstein, what's up, bro?
What's happening?
What's happening with him, man? What you got for us today?
First, I'd like to nominate to the intellectual niggas list Michael the librarian.
Oh, man. Okay. Explain.
He hasn't been cited in anything. He hasn't wrote any theses and shit. But you can just look at that nigga and see intellectual.
I feel bad for him.
I do.
I feel bad for him because they done tried to call that man a pedophile and all types of shit, and all he did was do his job.
Crazy.
You know what I think though? I think he might have got a job with Sesame Street, and that's why he's leaving the library. I think he got a deal somewhere. He's saying he left for mental health, and that may be true, but I think somebody gave him a bag.
Yeah, he got a deal with PBS Kids recently.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I knew it. I knew he got a fucking deal. I knew it.
Yeah, he got hooked up with PBS Kids, so he'll be fucking with Arthur and them.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
He's perfect for those type of shows.
Perfect. That dick is the Black Mr. Rogers, bro.
Ooh.
He is.
I ain't think about it like that. The Black Mr. Rogers.
Man.
Facts.
But shout out to Michael the Librarian. He's on my list of intellectual Negroes. What I really wanted to say though is this Joe Budden interview.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to get vibes, and I won't know until after the interview's over and after I watch it, and I'm gonna analyze it, and then even then, you're still gonna have to watch Budden, his career trajectory post interview.
Mm-hmm.
But this seems to me to be an elevation of this motherfucker into almost a right-wing version of Charlemagne. Like, you know how the media is leaning right? This nigga is going to be like Charlemagne, somewhat right-leaning to moderate.
To moderate the... to moderate the right-wingism. Yeah, to moderate how far right the streets become.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Candace is just showing up to lend him credibility to the red whites. Ultimately, that's who's going to have to float the fucking ship. He's going to have to get a lot of funding from them, a lot of ratings and support from them. Candace is there to bridge that gap. We'll watch the ascension of this fool's career from this point forward, but I think this is the elevation of Joe Budden into that role for the right wing.
So Higo's got some pushback here. I mean, he pushes back against everything everybody says, but he says Joe is too ditzy. And what Higo doesn't understand is they don't actually want smart people to be the gatekeepers. Like, if you were smart, you're disqualified from being a gatekeeper. You have to be ditzy to be a gatekeeper.
The number one thing that it's going to take for you to work with them people is doing what the fuck you're told.
Yeah.
Right? That's the number one qualification you have to have.
Yeah.
In most instances, that's the only one. If you're smart, you're less likely to do what the fuck you're told.
Correct. And you
thing
can't be trusted.
Yeah. And so he ain't got to be no goddamn mastermind. He's just a fucking mouthpiece like Charlemagne. Charlemagne ain't no goddamn mastermind.
Mm-hmm.
But he's been a mouthpiece for the left for how many motherfucking years now?
Yeah.
The right ain't really got that. So this is their attempt at trying to create that.
I think Charlemagne's actually very intelligent. He plays dumb, and he knows his role, and he's happy with his role. That's the difference. Like, I could never be happy being a left-wing gatekeeper. I would be unhappy. I think that's the difference. He's like, I got to where I'm at. I'm successful. I made millions, and I'm fine with this, right? I think that's what it is.
Yeah, Charlemagne is a fucking piece of work. Jeez, that guy.
Pause, descendant of Loki. Oh, my God. He said Goldstein with another money shot. Pause.
Oh, no.
But no, I agree. I like that take, moving, Budden sort of being the modulator. That's a good word. Modulator of how much right-wingism the black community is allowed to participate in. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, they'll start using him to fucking do all the interviews and all that other dumbass shit.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see. That's all I got.
Hey, man, great take, man. Appreciate you as always, Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill.
Who this? Calling. Got a couple more callers here. We got Hotep J checking in. Oh, let me send this text message to my peoples, because my people's supposed to be coming back over. Ted Nugent. They got Ted Nugent. if that's the case for the neo-right of the new media, who was the container for the right back in the 80s and 90s? They didn't have one. They didn't have one in the 80s and 90s. That's why they had to co-opt hip-hop. That's why they had to present Barack Obama to us. Remember, I did the presentation on all of that where we talked about how the black community pretty much, like all black power died with the birth of Barack Obama. They didn't have that. Opinionated Junkie said, thoughts on buying crypto options? I don't do nothing high speculation. If you want to do crypto options, go talk to a crypto option expert. The one thing I'll say that I will do as far as speculation is, Crypto Blood has an AI bot. He's got a trading bot. And that's something I'm willing to experiment with. You know, I'll throw like a little bit of ETH at that and let the machine do some trading for me. But going by, so when you look at Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham, you know, he's basically, you know, they look at things over the long term. And he said over the long term, when you look at the wins and losses from day traders, it's lower than the guys who just dollar cost average over a long period of time. So you can do well, but you're going to take some L's along with those crypto options. And what they say, you basically still come out lower than the guys who DCA and spend less time looking at charts. Jay, what up, yo?
What's going on, Hotep?
What's good with him? What you got for us today?
Man, not much. I just wanted to call in on the Bitcoin tip.
Okay.
Speaking of Crypto's Blood AI bot, I'm actually in that bot. I do have that bot, and I do use that bot.
How is it?
And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It had this. So recently, we was going through a pretty losing streak.
Okay.
But that was because, I mean, that's just how the market is. But now, I mean, we didn't caught a good amount of gains today recently.
So you got the Crypto Blood one?
Yeah. So we trade through Fairdesk.
Okay.
And Fairdesk is a non-KYC platform. You don't even got to use a VPN, but I mean, I still use a VPN, of course.
Right.
And it's pretty cool. Like I said, you can. There's no issues. I had no issues with withdrawing my money. I mean, loading my money on there or anything of that sort. So
okay.
I've been using it for now, like the past 3-4 months.
Okay. And you happy with it?
So, yeah, I'm happy with it. Yeah, it's all cool.
Yeah. I think it was
another
genius,
thing too. No, facts.
The way I would use that bot is I would turn it on during, you know, moments like this and then turn it off when crypto is quiet.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, and that's actually what Blood was actually doing. He actually was in the process of like he uses. I mean, I ain't gonna tell all the tricks, but I know he kind of uses ChatGPT to kind of help him code some of the bot and whatnot. But
Yep.
Mainly, it was a
and that, hold on, wait, hold on, hold that thought. Don't forget that thought. This is what I'm saying. Like, Crypto Blood is over here programming, using the AI to write code so he can trade crypto. Y'all out here, typing in, was Caesar White into the fucking AI and shit. Step, if you're not going to use the AI to make some money, step the fuck away from the AI and stop being a little program bitch. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Nah, you good. And then, like I said, there was a few individuals talking about, I guess they was getting, had a few bad situations with Coinbase. Like I said, I actually got banned off of Coinbase back in like 2020 when I was using it to purchase crypto. And like I was saying, I would use it, withdraw it off my ledger, and then shit, that'll be it. Or shit, if people want to go to, they go to a Bitcoin ATM, see if it's a local Bitcoin ATM near you.
Yeah.
Go there, use your cash and make sure it's one that doesn't want to use your ID. Some of them, most of them, they want to use your ID, but it's a few out there. You just gotta know that they don't use your ID. They'll probably just use your phone number or something like that. But it's many options. Like I said, another thing I used to do is I used to have an old iPhone, and I used to have it not connected to a phone service provider. So basically, it's just a phone that you could just use on the internet.
Right.
And the reason why I did that was to avoid SIM swaps.
Yep.
That's basically just was my bootleg version of a hardware wallet. You know what I'm saying? Just to get the job done.
That's smart.
You
I
know
like that.
So it's a lot of options for people to get into it. There's a lot of individuals on YouTube, just like you. I remember that's why I appreciate you for having a lot of those Bitcoin debates when you did have those debates. Anybody watching, go ahead and check out all those debates that
that was an epic time.
HJ has hosted, man. A lot of them, and it helped me. It really exposed me to Cyprian, and you know, what I'm saying?
Those
A lot of other
Bitcoin
individuals.
debates were like a big part of Bitcoin history.
Facts.
And I had no idea about it. They still talk about them shits on Reddit and Twitter today. Yeah.
No, facts. So, man, that's all I wanted to call in on.
Appreciate that.
If people ain't got none, you know what I'm saying? Just dollar cost average at this moment if you all can. Don't think that you all can just, no FOMO or anything, but you definitely can dollar cost average. I mean, shit, we passed 69. It looks pretty good, but that's all I wanted to call in on. And, man, Hotep and Bill, you have a good one.
All right, yo, Hotep and Bill.
Yes, sir.
Got the next caller coming in. He said 69. He was talking about before. Pause, just in case. Sis is holding strong. Syscoin's holding strong. We're gonna get our next caller in here, then we're gonna go to Ohio Tep directly after.
Call from
Yo, you on the line with Hotep Jesus? What's up, man?
Yo, what's good? What's up? What's going on?
What's good with him?
Ain't nothing. Just calling in, checking. I got them tickets, though.
You got the Grifties tickets?
Yeah, man. I got 2 of them things. So,
damn.
You know I'll be there.
Uh-oh. Welcome.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. It's going to be up. I spoke to Demick today. He texted me, let me know he coming through. So I got all my fam in the building. It's going to be up, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to get other people to come through. So we'll see. You don't
gotta try. I mean, the building's already packed, and technically, we're not even supposed to be selling tickets no more. So you kind of lucky you got in there.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm glad I got that second ticket when I did.
Man. Yeah. But you don't got to tell more people. We done sold the building out. It's packed, door to door, wall to wall.
All right, nice.
Yeah. But I appreciate you. I can't wait to meet you.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically just calling in with the health piece, which is, I really been into that the last few years, but I think it's, everybody makes it seem like it's a hard thing, but it's really not difficult. I think the thing is, in this culture, everybody eats so badly. There's so much sugar that anytime you throw any diet on top of anything, it's just reducing that amount of sugar. So, I mean, once you do that, everybody loses weight. You go from eating everything to just some of the things. So, I mean, between that and exercising, because you're definitely not gonna beat a diet with exercise. So, when you got kids like the kid on Twitter saying whatever, I mean, everything tends to work for somebody who's just overweight. But I do think, in a culture, we put a lot of faith on people who don't really know exactly what they're talking about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think, as an old athlete, play football from 9 to 19, still doing boxing, still doing all of these things. All you got to do is pretty much keep yourself hydrated. Like, I think, what was that Strong Dad? He said, the salt or the lemon, they keep it simple. Keep yourself hydrated and stop eating all day. One meal it out, one lunch or whatever, and just keep the shit simple,
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, my other only thing is, with the Bitcoin, I think it's crazy. I mean, I get it. I think Strong Dad also said that, he kind of a boomer. He don't want to mess with it. I mean, it's hard. Like, we all chasing inflation. I think the better, like, a Bitcoin is cool, but, people got to increase their income.
Yeah, that's cash flow.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the cash flow. And I think
the
inflation is... Yeah, exactly, but it's chasing people ass down, because if you barely got some coin, inflation chasing you down, you move into a new apartment, new house, and I mean, we in Jersey, you really got to be making like $300,000 just to be an average
Yeah. If I was in another state, my life would be different. You're right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But the
So
fact that we in
you don't-
Jersey, I'm fucking barely breathing. Yeah.
Right. You can. I mean, you're barely paying off your rent, and then
Facts.
having time for your kids.
Facts.
So I get that, and it don't matter. You could be making 300 to 500, and that issue could still occur. So, like, I get it. I think the serious thing right now is for people to just branch out, increase their income, worry about Bitcoin at some other time. But yeah, maybe dollar cost average, but
it's for people with cash flow. Like, and it's not really about buying Bitcoin. It's about investing and hedging your bets against inflation. That's really what it's about. We're just saying, if you, put a little bit aside, even if it was $10, everybody spends $10 on some bullshit every week. If you bought $10 a week of Bitcoin, it'll do, wonders for you years later. Obviously it's all speculation, but you even if it's not Bitcoin, is something. You have to put some money into your money has to be working while you're sleeping. You know what I mean? It has to be. Otherwise, you're going to continue to drown.
Right. In fact, I would gather to say that if you look at it more like a life insurance plan for your kids,
that's true.
You might do better, because you even thinking that you're going to take that shit out in your own lifetime is damaging how you're supposed to look at something with a limited asset base,
Mm-hmm.
So what a life insurance plan, let's say a term plan for somebody like us is probably, $50-$60. You know what I'm saying? A whole life is a little bit more. If you look at it like a term or a life, put $60 to $200 a month in there, and just I don't know, vault your key, and just be like, it ain't for me, it's for my kids, and just never touch it. You do better off than even thinking that you're gonna take from it, because
it's definitely not. It's definitely not a situation where you're looking to take from it. It's definitely a long-term strategy. It's about building wealth. Yeah, it's not about making money. It's about building wealth. Those are two different kind of thought processes.
Right, because I mean, really, and then with this type of inflation, I don't even feel like if you make, like I said, if you under 300 a year, just don't even think about it, even in the worst of times. Unless you started from 1,000, 5,000, you just kept it cool. You take it out. But if you still buying now and you ain't rich, just leave that to your daughter or son. That's it.
Yeah.
So,
all right, let me get to the next caller. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, one.
Hotep Bill. Who is this?
Call
Niggas
from
just calling.
Jackson,
what you got for us today, bro?
Hey, what's happening? Is this Hotep Jesus?
This is Hotep Jesus.
Hey, live and direct. Hey, I just wanted to say, first off, Hotep's been told you. What do you need to know in life that isn't getting talked about on this channel? Come on, let's go.
Talk to
Anyone
him.
got something? Come on.
Facts. Big facts.
Yeah.
I saw somebody in the other chat. They said, ever since I started watching this show, ever since I started watching this show, I haven't watched anything else, and there's a reason for that. Because you can't really go back to the other shit once you watch this, because the other shit just looks like bullshit. But go ahead, my bad.
The proof is in the pudding.
Facts.
That's it. Yo. Well, listen, I wanted to call in and hit it and quit it, but vegetables, fucking Bitcoin, whatever degenerative fucking altcoin action everyone wants to scalp on right now, get you some Flare, get you some XT5, Songbird, whatever. Come on, let's go. Hotep and build.
Let's go. I love the energy, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right, yo, Hotep and build.
Peace to you.
I like that energy. That's the energy you gotta have right there. You gotta take chances. Like, so in my chess, we got, chess classes Mondays and Fridays on Kick. And one of the guys in there, Federer, he's a CPA. He does accounting. And we always argue about, I remember one time I lost a bet. And I think we bet on the World Cup or something like that. And the bet was, if I win, he's got to buy Bitcoin, and if he wins, I got to buy a stock of his choice. So he showed me some sort of Morgan Stanley ETF. It's up right now, like 1.2%, and it does give dividends, and it's a good investment.
Call from.
But we always make fun of him now because it's just like on Monday we like, yo, Bitcoin at 60,000, you know, and he still has no Bitcoin. We told him to buy Bitcoin like 20 fucking times over the past 10 years or whatever it's been, 4 or 5 years. He still has no Bitcoin. And I'm just like, bro. And that's what happens when you're an accountant. You're so conservative that you miss out on gains. Yo, what's up, bro?
Yo.
Yo.
What up?
What up? Who this? Tari?
Sorry.
Oh, what's good, bro?
Shit. Nothing. I mean.
You done skipped the line.
No,
Go ahead.
Well, I thought she was
I was supposed to go to you a while ago. You right. That's my bad. I stand corrected. What you got for us today, bro?
Shoot, some good content this week. Shit.
This week?
Yeah. Well, I mean, always.
Oh, okay. There we go.
But, you know, last time I talked to you was on Friday, so, you know.
Oh, true.
But, yeah, no, especially that I like that interview you had on Monday with some interesting information.
Oh, that interview on Monday was fire. Shorty was killing it.
Yeah, it's like you were like you was just saying today. You was talking about the Budden interview and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the funny thing is, I actually, when I really got into podcasts early,
mm-hmm.
I was watching the Budden podcast. Like that was what I was like listening to, just on some like hip hop shit.
Yeah, he was
you
one
know?
of the first podcasters. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he was doing interviews and stuff like that too. So, I mean, I think he might do that. He might try to make it like an interview type deal. Because I think he always kind of been trying to.
Yeah, it looks like that. From the image, it looks like it's going to be
an
an interview. Yeah.
Yeah. So it might not get too heated. I think he's going to try to go the interview route like he used to try to do with the rappers and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy because I used to follow a lot of those to follow hip hop and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I switched over at a certain point, stopped listening to it completely, really, because I just got into, you know, the intellectual stuff a lot more. I remember back then I was even using the podcast to like learn Japanese. So even now, like a lot of the stuff I listen to would be like I'm listening to stuff on philosophy. If you know about the Greek philosophers and all that, how a lot of those writings will be like conversations between like, you know, Aristotle or whoever and Plato or whoever, or Socrates.
Mm-hmm.
I'll listen to those on audiobook or something, you know, just to be versed in some of the stuff that these people will talk about and reference. But I don't really, you know, listen to none of these grifters or anything anymore either. It's like the last caller said, it's like y'all was talking about, you don't feel the need when you got good sources of information that you're actually having real conversations, and you don't want to hear all that grifting and everything, you know.
Yeah.
You feel like you're getting a certain level of you feel like you're getting a certain level of value from them until you actually start getting that real value. Like I wouldn't say I stopped listening to everything, because I listen to some pretty esoteric stuff. Like I could probably put you on to a couple people. You actually hit on one of the people I've been listening to somewhat recently yesterday on that moon landing stuff.
Mm.
Surprisingly enough, I think it might have just been a coincidence, but that dude that responded to Matt Walsh, the Wits It Gets It dude, is in that little flat Earth community, and I've been watching some of their debates, and he's a sharp dude. Some of those people are pretty sharp, and I think they just be trolling, to be honest.
Right.
But they know that they're so sharp that people who aren't actually thinking, they can't refute their points. Yeah. So it's been
that's why I like
the
that's why I like the flat Earth theory shit, because the flat Earth theory requires you to actually know what the fuck you're talking about to refute the flat earthers.
And
that's why I
debates
love
are
that
great.
shit. Yeah. You
really
can
get into
learn
the
a
science.
lot from a fucking flat Earth debate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes. And that's what I've been doing recently. like I tell you, I've been listening to really no podcasts and that for the most part. Like I might throw on some manosphere stuff or something just to hear the drama or whatnot and get some laughs. But other than that, I've been looking into this stuff because it makes you look into certain subjects and stuff too. Like I saw I saw some good evidence apparently that of some giants the other day. I don't know if you heard about this.
Abraham
apparently
Lincoln
some
was a
guy.
giant.
Oh yeah, I mean close. Very close.
Yeah, I heard about the giant theory and all of that.
I think I saw somebody that showed like somebody supposedly having some solid proof where apparently they saw like these statues apparently that couldn't be sculpted a certain way. You know what I mean? You ever heard about this?
Mm-mm.
They took it and had them test it without telling them what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And they told them that it was human tissue.
Mm-hmm.
So that's some interesting stuff I've been seeing. I've been doing some more research into stuff like that because once you see it, you're like, damn, like I got to see if this is legit now.
Yeah.
That real research.
But I appreciate the call today. Let me get to the next guy, man, so I get out of here. I got people's coming over today.
Yeah, man. Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill. Shout out to Ohio Tep for the calling. Appreciate his energy. Let's get the last caller in here, whoever this is. Spotless Mind. Spotless Mind, go ahead, get in here. Pause. Let me see what the internet's is talking about. See if there's any mass shootings that we missed while we were here. Meek Mill is still trending #1. Nothing like a good hip-hop drama to keep people. What? Nibiru? Why is Nibiru trending? Oh, they got a coin. Call back in, Spotless Mind. So for some reason your shit got clipped. So Nibiru chain popped. I mean, again, this is what happens in bull season, man. Everybody's fucking printing money all over the place.
Call from
Spotless, what up, y'all?
What's going on? What's the word?
What's the word with it, man? How you feeling, man? What you got for us today?
Man, I'm feeling good. Listening to the show, and it's funny that that these topics are coming up because that's everything that I've been focusing on and studying the last couple weeks. Really, I've been in it, but I've been focusing, working on
what
family plan, using Bitcoin, using cash, using stocks and bonds, and ETFs, and all of that stuff. Just making a structure for it, just like the dude said before, for like the kids, the grandkids, the ones you're not gonna meet.
Right.
And just like people here and overseas. I got family in the Caribbean, all of that. So
you a tether?
Yeah.
Shout out to my fellow tethers out here.
Yeah, shout out to you. Yeah.
Yeah, we out here. Y'all niggas, y'all ADOS niggas gonna have to deal with us. FBA, you got to deal with us, nigga. Can't do shit without us.
That's right. Which is funny because my fiance to be wife, she FBA, right? She don't claim that, but they might claim her. But I'm gonna tell that as you were saying, it's like, Trinidadian mom, St. Vincent Park, first generation out here. I'm just doing my thing. I'm in the legal field, but I've always been into, stocks and Bitcoin and in the past 2 years, both of my parents passed. I'm like, you know what? You always know it, but it's like, this shit is temporary. So you got to put something in place that your grandkids, your great grandkids, gonna be eating.
Right.
Like this Rothschild model or whatever. People look at it like it's such a wicked thing. It's like, they did what they were supposed to be doing.
They did what they were supposed to do. Thank you.
If you was them,
you would have did the same shit
in their circumstances. Yeah, that would have been what you wish you could have did. Most people can't come close or sniff it. So, yeah.
Facts. That's
nepotism and longevity is the game.
Facts. There's a lot of lessons to be learned from the Rothschilds, and he figured out the game early and won the game, and niggas is mad, and it's just like, hey man, you should, your grandfather should have been on his shit.
That's right. Yeah, and like I be thinking about my grandfathers, and it's like, both of them. One, my pops, his father passed before, you know, like when he was a little kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
My dad was 75, 77 when he died, December 31st.
Mm.
So his dad, my grandpa, died man long ago, sometimes in the 50s. Never got to meet him, but the thing about him is, what you talking about putting stuff in place, he didn't put anything in place. He was running around living, you know what I mean?
Mm.
So he run around slinging dick everywhere, pardon the channel, my fault. And my other grandfather, he kind of put more stuff in place. So you get to see like I don't know if juxtaposition is the right word, but you get to see how it balance out, how it play out. You know, pardon if I curse on your channel.
Nah, you good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. And so it was like, yo, I'm looking at this generation. That was back in the 50s and the 60s and shit. I'm looking at this generation. I'm looking at my cousins, and I'm looking at my siblings, and I'm like, yo, you know, we ain't just here to just be, you know what I mean? We just here to smashing things for a few decades and then just go. And they're like, yo, you gotta leave a legacy. You gotta build a framework.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So that's why I appreciate what you be doing, because
absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm in the New York area. Like the Hotep Nation and everything that you represent. It's really, I've been listening to the show for, pardon if I'm going too long, for probably about the past, 2018. And, but only recently, you know what I mean, I've been more in a position financially and even to like really take advantage of the information that y'all been getting. So y'all been giving a lot of free games. So you gotta
mad
put
game.
it
Like
on for
all
yourself.
the other grifters look at me like I'm stupid because they like, yo, you give away mad game. You supposed to be charging for this podcast. But
Man.
I don't feel like that's
Man,
the
you
way.
charge for other stuff, man.
That's what I'm
this
saying.
is different. Yeah, it's like the game is to be told, not to be sold.
Right.
Like, I mean, products is to be sold.
Right. But I got to get this
definitely
game
big
out
shout
there.
out to you. Let me get out of here.
I appreciate you, man. Hotep and Bill.
I appreciate shout out to you and Uncle Hotep and everybody, Goldstein and all of them. I'll be having my wife and my kids listening, so
that's what's up.
Keep doing your thing.
Shout out to the fam, yo.
And I'm on the Flowpex right now. Flowpex, that's the new official nickname for Apex and Flow. So Flowpex, right?
Flowpex, I love it. Big facts.
All right,
Hotep and Bill. Yes, Flowpex. We out here, baby. Flowpex, we are out here. When you got the flow mixed with the apex, that's Flowpex. Flowpex is in full effect. I'm seeing it on my timeline too. It's beautiful. Matter of fact, let's segue there really fast, and we're gonna come back to Meek Mill in a second. Hold on. We're gonna come back to Meek Mill in a second. This shit is hilarious. And then we'll end off there. There go the Flowpex right there. We got one person right there with the Flowpex. Who else we got in here? Yesterday we had another person, Flowpex. What do y'all? What here's something that's interesting, right? And I go back to this every few months. That's a black man's hand right there, if I'm not mistaken. If we go right here, it's another black man's hand, right? If I'm not mistaken, right? One day a nigga said to me, he said, this happened to me twice. It was a popular black podcast, and one of my listeners was like, yo, you got to talk to these guys. They're a popping black podcast, and I want you to talk to them. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we start texting back and forth to like figure out, feel each other out, I guess, is what we were supposed to be doing, right? So he said something to me about reaching out to the black community. And I was just like, I'm not really interested in reaching out to the black community. I didn't hear back from him. I didn't expect to hear back from him because most people can't understand that statement, right? And I've said this before, like, all these people try to cater to the black community, and it's just like, nigga, I wear a hoodie and dreadlocks. You think niggas not gonna listen to me? And then you listen to the callers. Black folks calling in. I had another little nigga who runs, Twitter Spaces, and he reaches out to me. He's reaching out, and I'm ignoring him because I don't like doing Twitter Spaces unless I'm the motherfucking host. I'm a control freak. It just is what it is, right? Mostly because I don't trust other motherfuckers. Other motherfuckers just don't know how to run a space efficiently. I can release control if I trust you. If I don't trust you, I only trust my motherfucking self. So he invites me to the motherfucking Twitter Spaces, and I'm like ignoring him. And eventually he's like, yo, don't you want to reach the black community? I'm like, nigga, I am the black community.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
I reach the black community. When I go out into public and people recognize me, it be black people. I went to the gym. It was a black dude. He was like, yo, I seen you on Gutfeld. I was on a train to New York City one time. Black girl recognized me. I was in Philly. Black dude recognized me in Philly. Older black cat. And I'm just like, when black people see other black people, we tend to pay attention. I went to get my hair cut with the Dominicans. Dominicans said he seen me on TikTok. The Dominicans is clued in. When black people see other black people, they tend to tune in. I don't have to try and reach the black community. I go for a specific mind type, and that reaches all races and all genders. And a whole bunch of different countries tune into this show as well. I'm looking for people who are looking for the next step. We know it starts with, white pill, then it's red pill, then it's black. No, it goes white pill, black pill, red pill, purple pill. The last step is Hotep pill. So after you done listening to all that right-wing garbage, when you done listening to all that left-wing garbage, way above that is Hotep. So once the people are like, all right, I got this information from this left winger and, I know all about black oppression. Then they come over to the right wing and they learn all the bullshit that the right wing talks about. And then they're like, I'm thirsting for more. There has to be something else. And I remember this one dude sent me a DM. He said, you know why I love your show? He said it was because, I'm trying to think, what was his exact verbiage? But he said basically what he said was, I give balanced takes, right? And that's really the mind I'm after. The people that want the truth. The people that are not playing fucking party politics. I want those people. When you're done fucking being a little bitch, when you're done being a intellectual midget and you want to level the fuck up and have real conversations with real nuance, real philosophy, and real learning, then come on over to Hotep. But it takes a time, they got to go through the growing. They got to grow. And then once you're done listening to, Lil Baby Ben, you're going to want more. And that's going to lead you right here to Hotep. So we occupy a specific space. So I don't try and market to black people. Black people see a clip or see something of my work. They identify with me because they go, oh, here go another brother. He got on a hoodie and dreads. He's just like me. I know he understands me. Let me check him out. Then they get here and we talking about central banking and investing and nation building. All the shit that they need. All the shit that everybody needs. Right? So I remember somebody said something about, you don't do nothing for the black community. I'm like, all you gotta do is tune into my show. As you heard the dude say, I give away mad free gems on this channel. Mad gems. The other grifters literally tell me, Hotep Jesus, you're supposed to be charging for your podcast. No, that's not how we do business over here. Come get you some flow packs. Come get you some flow packs. You know what I mean? That's how we do things over here. I give high value and you get high return. You buy some flow packs, your life will be better. All right? So I like to sell things I believe in. I don't like stealing from people. I don't like grifting. You know what I'm saying? I like keeping it real. I like being myself. I like doing things that help me sleep at night, knowing I help people. So this whole idea of Hotep Jesus needs to reach out to the black community, I'm like, if you listen to my show and my callers, 90% of the callers is fucking black.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
And I didn't have to try to cater to black people. You know what I'm saying? So it's just really weird how, and you know, this is different from saying the Trump campaign needs to reach out to black people because Trump ain't black. So nobody could ever identify with him. See, that's different, right? But when black people tell other black people they need to cater to black people, to me, it sounds like they saying I need to talk about fucking hip hop drama or some shit. And I'm like, no, that's not what we doing over here. We talking about real shit. And black people want to hear about real shit too. You hear Shaq Toshi come in and cuss you out for not knowing about crypto? The streets know about crypto. Black people are just like white people. They want to learn too. All these people want to learn. So stop minimizing the power of black people like niggas just out here not trying to learn. They definitely out here trying to learn. If I'm trying to learn, I know they trying to learn. Chuck Flea said I lost $500 off stock options. So here's my thing on stock options because I traded options for a little while. I did okay. Let me see what I should say here because, all right, first of all, it's not financial advice. So I think the best time to trade options are like news breaks, right? Like when news is about to break, that's a great time to trade options, right? So we're going to war and it's just like, okay, I should probably buy some calls on for example, here's a good one. Calls on Smith and Wesson after a mass shooting. You could do calls on Smith and Wesson after a mass shooting and cake, right? Or whatever gun company is traded because people usually fear losing their guns and the price of guns goes up, right? So, but my thing is don't trade options. It's just too risky. And just DCA. Because like I said before, according to Benjamin Graham, at the end of the day, you're going to come out the same anyway. But some people know what to look for, right? Some people know what to look for. Like Jazzy's in the chat. He plays options sometimes. He knows what to look for. He's not sitting around playing options all day, every day. He just knows, hey, I got some information and this stock is about to do well. Maybe, some pharmaceutical company ran across, piece of technology and, the results of the study came out well. So the stock's going to do well tomorrow or whatever it is, right? Fundamentals versus technical traders is what you're talking about, HJ. Yeah, exactly. So I always say, safe bet, DCA. And I think DCA is better because you save time. And time is your greatest asset. So if you're not sitting around looking at charts all fucking day. But also some people are like Jazzy, like that's what he does for a living. Like he's a data analyst. So it makes sense for him to be looking at charts all day because that's what his brain is wired to do. Some people's brains are wired to look at charts and data. And other people's brains are wired to look at other things. So, it depends on, what your strengths and weaknesses are. When in doubt, just follow the Pelosi stock tracker. Yeah, also true. Yo, the bots is coming in heavy over on Rumble. Damn. The bots coming in heavy. We must be doing well. We must be doing well if the bots are coming in. Somebody said that over on the shot today. 4 today? 4 bots came today? All right, channel's growing. That's good news. All right, let's go to Meek Mill and I'm out of here. Hold on. Mostly I want to look at this now because I'm not going to look at this after I get off. All right, so he says here, academics, did not tell you stop playing with my name. I don't know what I'm going to do when I actually see you. It's going to be a combination to it, though. Oh, shit. Sound like threats. I'm independent. They know I drop tomorrow trying to damage control where I'm. People die for playing with a man's name. So Meek got some new music dropping tomorrow, I guess. They got to try damage control. They know I drop tomorrow. So Meek's using this. This might not be a bad strategy. You know, promote your next single. Now people got to go listen to it. The way you niggas coming on the sick now. What? The way you niggas coming on the sick now. Pause. I just feel like you got to say pause after that. I can't wait to meet academics. They know I drop tomorrow. This day damage control. This net getting too weird. Bitch ass niggas ain't gonna play no games with me. They trying to do damage control. The same thing almost tricked y'all with Lil Baby. Academics and alcoholic, fully powered by the white man. Who you think posting that on every website? They be so mad they can't stop its few groups. Get me his addy. I'ma shoot a full production music video in front of his house. Seriously, get me that one in New Jersey. Oh boy. He's an alcoholic with no life, talking to kids on the computer. Normal kids watch Kai, Aiden, Wallow, Gilly. You a sick old man with no life achievements trying to destroy black men because you envy us as men. Damn. I'm from Philly. I don't do coke or freaky ass Molly. Nobody won't even offer me coke because I'm not heavy. No man would ever approach me about gay activity and the whole place don't get flipped. Woke up seeing this on every blog like they know I'm coming. Andrew Tate. Oh, shit. Damn, Andrew Tate done jumped in and he said, so P. Diddy was having sex with Meek Mill and Usher. Meek Mill responds, says, wasn't you sex trafficking women? The fuck wrong with you, Brody? Oh, man. If it's any conversation that should have been stayed away from, Andrew Tate should have stayed away from this shit. Fact check true, he was sex trafficking. Don't follow the heathens. They controlling people's minds with these computers. Why would Andrew Tate jump into this? Like, why? Like, what? Why? I was having a nice sleep chilling in the mansion and wake up to this weirdo stuff. They learn how to affect your energy through these phones. Shaking my head, I'm back now. It's why they dropping hate campaigns. Let's find the real lawsuit to make sure it's more computer generated. It's obvious I'm going indecent. Bad press about me, going against the system, eyes wide open, whole new system. Computer generated deep fake. So he's saying computer generated deep fake. Two things they say: we snitching or we gay, generating hundreds of millions of music. No coincidence, we all gays and snitches. All right, what's the next one? So I think he posted a link to the. Here's the doc. Let's go on a trail live. Playing with my name. Find a page with my name mentioned and what date, so I can get my credit card and show you the date where I was, and I don't even know that pussy. All right, let's go to this, let's go to the thing. Let's see if we can find something in here. All right, so his name's not mentioned, but it's right here, Meek. Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. That's what they talking about. I thought Meek was saying this line didn't exist, but it's right there, Meek. I'm not saying it's true, but that's what the docs say. Unless it was another Philadelphia rapper dating Nicki Minaj. Was it two Philadelphia rappers dating Nicki Minaj? It's definitely in there. There ain't no deep fake. If you posting that as the link, that's not no deep fake, Meek. I would trash any celebrity if they try wild with me. No pics, literally go crazy. I'm from Philly. They don't want y'all streaming this independent music. YouTube creators target black celebrities with AI made fake news. We have too much influence. Go Google deep fake. So now Meek saying this is deep fake AI. All right, maybe he should have left this alone. He was doing all right until he got there. He was doing all right till he got to the deep fake AI shit. I don't know about that one, Meek. Next time I'm going to expose who's behind trying to kill the black image of the most influential artist. You talking about Ye? Is he talking about Ye? HJ, they say up there in Jersey it was common to call somebody daddy back in the 80s. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But that was the 70s where they're saying Daddy-O. It was just a shortened version of Daddy-O. If you go listen to like 60s, 70s, what time period was it? Oh, let's look. Was it the 50s? I think it was the 50s where people were saying Daddy-O. That's just remnants of that. Yeah, 50s and 60s. That's all that is right here. Daddy-O was a slang term that became popular in the mid 1950s and 60s, used primarily by beatniks and hipsters. They didn't have hipsters back then, did they? And was usually used to address an older person. It was not considered an insult at all. It was similar to use the words dude or man that are used today. Yeah, it's just remnants of that. Definitely not no gay shit going on there. But you definitely can't call a grown man daddy today. That's a pause. Somebody made a good point. They said, all the other people involved haven't tweeted, but here go Meek tweeting. Maybe Meek should have been silent. I don't know. Peace and love to Hotep Nation. Much love. You all just gonna have some fun out there now. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun at the Grifties, man. A lot of fun at the Grifties. Can't wait to see y'all there. If you didn't get a ticket, I'm sorry, but sold out show. Didn't expect the show to sell out. When the guys said, hey, we got to go live with this, I was like, I'll be honest with you, I was like, all right, is anybody gonna show up? Like, can we sell tickets? Like, I really had a moment of doubt. And I have this rule where if I ever doubt myself, then that means I have to do it. So because I had fear and I had doubt, I was on the phone with the guys and I said, okay, let's just do it. No planning whatsoever, no foresight, just fuck it. Set a date and we'll figure it out along the way. Huge lesson in that, because that's how entrepreneurship is. You make a decision to do something and then you just fucking do it. And you learn along the way. You lose money, fuck it. You learned a lot. Make money, great too. We're definitely not making any money off this event. I did the budget on it, and we're definitely in the red. But I think bringing people together is definitely worth it. And maybe we'll make money next year, right? Maybe this will be such a big success that we'll get more sponsors. Shout out to Dropkick Copy, dropkickcopy.com/Hotep, who was the sole sponsor this year. They gave us, I think they got the bronze package for sponsorship. So yeah, maybe next year we'll get more sponsor dollars. We were in talks with Tim Cast and them, but that didn't happen. So maybe we'll reboot and get something going with Tim Cast and them next year, and try again. But at the end of the day, we're bringing our peoples together. Our Hoteps are coming out, and Hotep Nation is a 501c nonprofit supporting the homeschooling community, and we throw events like these as fundraisers, so we can keep that thing going. And so super excited about the Grifties. 10 days away from the Grifties. The Grifties weekend starts that Friday, March 8th. We're going to be checking out Sam Tripoli that Friday. We've sold some VIP tickets already for that. And so we'll be hanging out Friday, and then the Grifties is Saturday. We'll be hanging out Saturday day. I got to talk to everybody and see who wants to crash Jabari's restaurant. Maybe we'll do lunch at Jabari's restaurant on that Saturday. But yeah. So Grifties coming soon. Can't wait. Steph said, I knew they were going to sell out. You knew it? I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, shout out to Fresh Mike for making it happen. Shout out to Fresh Mike. Protocol's DJing. Shout out to Protocol for stepping up and being a DJ, volunteering to being a DJ. A lot of people stepped up to volunteer that aren't getting paid to make this thing happen. And that's just like mad love, It's just what happens when you have a community, man. You got a community based on real shit. Anyway, I'm out of here, man. Today's Wednesday. Tomorrow's Hotep Thursday. We'll be back tonight, kick.com/Hotep Jesus for chess lessons. Other than that, I'll see you tomorrow, man. Stay well, be merry. Tell somebody in your family that you love them. And as always, Hotep and Bill.
Envision a sanctuary where community and sustainability are the cornerstones of living. In this haven, every family is able to grow their own food, children flourish through homeschooling tailored to unlock their full potential, and education extends beyond textbooks, instilling self-worth and a deep understanding of the world around them. Here, goodwill isn't just an ideal, it's the essence of daily life, where respect for law and order harmonizes with the community's resourcefulness. This place isn't just a dream, it's a call to action for everyone who believes in a better, more connected way of living. Join us in building a future where each individual's contributions create a tapestry of enduring harmony and prosperity. Join us in Hotepistan,